You need to make sure that we know that you're working.
Exactly. Well, and I'm pretty sure with with Instagram, when you make a post, you can set it
Facebook
to share to your Facebook.
Instagram.
Oh,
Twitter and Facebook are
Yeah,
two fucking separate things.
yeah.
I really think we just missed the boat on the Twitter thing. I think
Well,
we should
fuck
just...
Twitter anyways.
Fuck it anyway.
Twitter's where cancel culture.
I am not giving up, you son of a bitch.
That's fine.
Well, then send us screenshots. Because we know you can't Photoshop.
You don't have to send us shit. Nobody really cares. Actually. What the fuck?
Like us, share us, or fuck us, we're down for whatever. I'm Oracle.
I'm Mystic.
This is the ashtray.
I'm sending screenshots. Fuck y'all. I'm Teddy.
Oh, see?
There you go, buddy.
And this is the Red Eye Report.
Easy.
There you go.
Bam.
Report.
All right.
You bullshitting.
Now we're live.
Boy, you bullshitting. So find the shit. I still don't see it.
Doing it live, ladies and gentlemen.
1 second, I'm looking for it.
Hosting tonight.
Boom.
I still don't see it. Wait.
I see it.
Oh, gambling. There we go. Got it.
Boop, 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 boop.
All by myself.
No, we're not doing that tonight. Told you no more singing.
Wanna be
Told you no more singing. God damn it.
All right.
Oh, look how weird. I'm trying to get the camera fixed. Sorry, this is weird.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Red Eye Report. Teddy is your host tonight. As you can see, he's hosting it so fluidly. I decided to jump in.
Oh, eat it, dick. On this episode of the Red Eye Report, we talk about gambling. We listen to Ashtray ramble on about some more goddamn bullshit. Ramble on. And we worry about the fate of a nigga in the woods. Bam.
You don't look like you're in the woods, dude.
yeah. Glamping ass motherfucker.
You ain't seen outside yet, right? With us this week is Oracle. A lot of people don't know that Oracle is the dumbest guy in witness protection. Oracle is currently he is currently fucking he's hiding out from Chinese triads over some fucked up gambling debts in Macau. But due to his need to be out in public and a prima donna, he has put his life, his girl's life, and his cat's life in jeopardy. Way to go, dumbass.
Hey, anything for the Red Eye Report. Gotta fucking bring it to the people, man.
Then there's a Mystic. Mystic is a professional gambler. He gambles with heart failure, one Twinkie at a time.
Oh, that's so stupid. It's hilarious. Oh, you're gonna kill him with that one.
No. Then there's Ashtray. Ashtray's gonna have to kill us.
Fucking black cis male.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
That's a whole nother episode.
Jesus Christ. I wanted to change the topic, but Oracle said no, I wanted to learn. And then there's Ashtray. Ashtray's gonna have to kill his cat, so he gets a pass. Sorry, buddy.
Thank you.
And I'm Teddy. I'm just a nigga in a cabin in the woods. And here's the thing. We usually start out with saying this is the Red Eye Report. I dictated this to my tablet, and my talk to text apparently is fucked up. And I said, and this is the Red Eye Report, and it typed, and this is America. So I guess we're going with that.
America.
I don't know how we got that from that, but that's what it got. And so that's like,
Teddy, did you break into the cabin on Surviving the Game? And there's a fucking shelf full of heads.
Oh yeah, Surviving the Game with Ice-T and
remember
we watched that movie,
right?
Watched that shit. It was
Gary fucking Busey.
Oh my god,
it was terrible, but like enjoyable in a terrible way.
Gary Busey's incredible.
Actually, it'd be a good riff tracks.
We tried, remember?
That's right. Was that the one we did?
Yeah,
we did that one.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and look where we are now.
I think it was taken down for copyright shit or something.
Probably. How come those
Boom.
algorithms find all that shit?
How do
All
they
right.
find them?
So gambling.
So gambling. So like I thought about this on the boat I was on. I was on a cruise last week, and on the boat they had a casino. It's called the Shogun Casino. Had all this fake Japanese, had all this fake Japanese shit in there. But right by the bar where you can smoke at it on that floor, there was a machine. It was a crane machine, and inside it had a bunch of stacks of $100 bills, one marked 250 and like a couple marked 500 and shit. And it's like there was never a time where there were not people around this fucking machine just pouring. It cost $1 to play each play, and there was, and it's fucking, and that was the one bar that was inside. So I drank there and smoked there a lot. So it was always at least 10 people around the machine just pumping money into it, and I never saw anybody win. And I was thinking of like the crane look.
So it was always like loot slipping out.
Right, it was always like slipping out. The crane only had 3 prongs on it, and the dollar. Trying to pick up a stack of a rectangle with just 3 prongs and stuff. It was weird, and also I thought it was rigged because I thought the fucking crane wasn't strong enough to hold the money.
Hold anything, anyways.
Yeah, hold it was what's got left up me. So it was fucking. But that got me thinking about how much money they make off of that fucking machine, and I started thinking about fucking gambling because we did an episode about gambling a long time ago. But I started thinking about, I don't think we talked about like gambling episode 111 because I did the research on it.
Attaboy, 111. Damn, that's more than half our episodes ago.
Yep.
We're getting long in the tooth.
So I started about thinking about what is gambling's worldwide revenue. It revenues about $460 billion a year.
Damn.
Which I thought was actually on the low end. I thought it was on the low end actually. I thought it'd be like a lot more, but apparently no. You can break it. They break that down into how much each country actually gambles. And the United States is actually third, even though Las Vegas is one of the 2 top gambling spots in the world.
No shit.
Yeah, Americans they gamble. I think it was about 300 and shit. Where'd it go? It was like 300 something dollars. 300 and
on average.
On average, per capita, per person, the average American gambles only $505 a year per capita.
$505 a year. Okay, that could be against pull tabs, money machines.
Yeah, that includes
Powerball.
Like lottery, all that other stuff. Yeah, the Aussies are the worst. They gamble.
I think it is how you say it.
Yeah,
Macau.
Is Oracle there? Is he just? What is he doing?
Yeah,
he's lost.
I'm here. No, the audio cut out.
Oh, did it? Okay, I'm like, what?
No, I can hear you, Teddy. You're fine.
Yeah, it was on my end. Right,
okay, I was like, what is going on here? Okay, I was gonna actually
say it again. Have you been to Macau?
Have you been to Macau and China?
I've been to Macau. Fuck no.
Okay.
Where the hell would I have been? Oh,
Well,
it's the gambling like island thing, right?
Yeah, in China.
Okay,
yeah,
it is an island.
I think it's one of the. I think it's the only place in China where gambling is legal.
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Technically
besides like in the streets, right, where they're having chicken fights and shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. So hence the word fucking legal.
I made my millions in the cockfights of Bangkok.
Macau and China. Macau has 7 of the world's top 25 casinos, and Vegas has 15 of them. Those are the top, and those are. But it's I forgot where I was going with this. God damn it, I'm so fucking high. It's goddamn pig.
Okay, so with the top casinos and the U.S. is still third place or whatever, why are the Aussies? I mean, how do they?
Because they gamble. They lose the most. They gamble the most per person.
Doing what?
All types of gambling.
Like,
let me see. I'm gonna go back to the webpage. I'm seeing.
I'm sure it's all types: lottery, casinos. But apparently,
It's actually not a top place to gamble. So
they're the ones who spend the most money per capita. It may not be the place where the most gambling happens.
If you go to the casino.org, the casino.org link I have, and scroll down to number 4, Australia. Let's see here, distribution of gamblers.
Does it have a chart?
Okay, poker
chart we can put up for the people who are watching this show.
That's what if you scroll down to number 4.
This low podcast.
I know, right? It breaks down to distributor gamblers by age. Wow. Most of them are 40 to 49-year-olds. Well, I guess 40 to 49-year-olds.
40 to 49-year-olds. Yeah, it's motherfuckers who didn't save anything for retirement, and they're just hoping for that big payout.
I thought that at first.
Come on.
I thought that at first, but 30 to 59 looks about even if you look at the.
30 to 59? Well, yeah, because that's a broader spectrum than 45 to 50.
I feel like I'm going to get a fucking virus being on this.
For God's sake.
Why does it look real sketchy, like not official?
No, it's fucking. You see? Oh, really?
Oh, really?
So fine, whatever. All right.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to bring it up on my screen, and you tell me what you think.
Yeah, let's show it to the people. Let's see if we agree, audience, whether this site looks sketchy or not. Because Oracle's been to China. If you've been to China and back, I think you can definitely know what's sketchy.
That's not the website I'm on.
What the fuck?
Play now.
That's not the website. No, the casino, www.casino.org.
Casino.org/gambling.
Yeah, /gambling.
What?
It looks like it's an actual gambling site itself.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to
So, like, is there information even? Maybe they're just making the Aussies look bad.
Yeah, I mean, no, Is
there any? Yeah,
that is not. I'm on my tablet.
I'll take Wikipedia over this site.
Yeah, I'm okay. Anyway, to answer the goddamn question on this fake gas site, it says a lot of it spent on. They have more slot machines than most other countries. Yeah, so yeah.
Goddamn slot machines.
Call them pokies.
Poker machines. They probably call them something like slottos or something.
Slottos.
They call them pokies. Shit. Sorry. So I'm talking one last thing here. Oh, wrong goddamn thing.
One goddamn thing.
Wow.
Oh shit! Like none of my webpages, like everything, like none of my webpages.
It amazes me that we don't have more than 5 top fans.
Our episode.
Look,
Eddie, you've only been talking.
I did this in a hurry. I know, right? I told you it was gonna be quick.
Don't worry, I'm
trying to get on the road, man.
Fill in about gambling.
Oh God, no, I bet you can. All right. So everybody's seen fucking what's the movie? Ocean's 11, 12, 13, and 8, where they rob the people and shit.
I can't believe you remember all the numbers, but yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Wow. You can't remember like basic
11,
words,
12,
but
13.
You
Yeah, the order of the.
I remember basic words. I remember basic words greatly.
Bigly. I got a bigly vocabulary, man.
I got a bigly vocabulary. Fucking told us so.
Fucking told us so.
Fucking told us so. All right, so I looked up. I was curious if there's actually been successful casino robberies, and there actually have. Fucking Biker Bandit in 2010 stole 1.5 million worth of casino chips.
Damn, dude.
He fucking parked his motorcycle on the fucking. He rode up to the casino agents on a motorcycle, walked to the crap table, pulled out a gun and demanded chips. He ended up getting away, actually.
Damn. So what do you do with those chips then?
Honestly, I don't know.
I mean, you got to.
He stole a wide range of chip denominations, including ones worth $25,000. He tried to peddle them on an internet poker site using the email address cranberrykid25 at Yahoo. He signed the emails Biker Bandit. Metro Police caught up with him 7 weeks after the robbery at the Bellagio, where he was gambling and attempting to sell chips to undercover officers.
Wow. So that didn't quite go well.
Yeah, somebody robbed Treasure Island in 2002. In 2000, left one security guard wounded and led to the arrest of a man wanted in connection to 2 previous robberies at the casino the same year.
Damn.
And then the same year again, fucking in October, somebody fucking robbed the motherfuckers, fired 2 shots and sold about $30,000. Like just don't go to Treasure Island.
Yeah, don't go to Treasure Island. Isn't that like kind of one of the crappy ones now?
I think all of them are crappy. I mean, there's the research said they have about 70 casinos in fucking Vegas. And
the Treasure Island one did they did that pirate show out in front of it
out in front of it, yeah,
2 hours or whatever.
They still do that, or is that been
They
retired?
did when I was there. I don't know if they still do.
Yeah.
Whoa.
There's so speaking of gambling, I was actually just reading this story locally here. There's in Middleton, the Middleton Sports Bowl. I've never actually been there, but it literally looks like a big furniture store, like high-rise building with big windows and stuff that was converted into a big sports bar a long time ago, but it's still been there. Anyways, the husband and wife owners, basically they both recently pled guilty for basically their federal tax charges because they were skimming about $850,000 over maybe 7 to 8 years off of the video gambling machines, which are they are gambling, but there's
it's supposed to be just for entertainment, right?
You're
not supposed to pay them out.
Oh, you're not supposed to pay them out, but there's a the bars have some sort of, usually there's a rule where it's like usually you cash out, the bar will write your name down and like what you supposedly won on that machine, but you can't get it till the next day. Like there's rules that skirt around this like gambling thing, but nonetheless, there's real cash is going in there.
Right.
So this couple has run this old sports bar out in Middleton. They had an undercover IRS agent actually went in and posed as a potential buyer for this sports bar, and the couples had a agreement with this guy, a local guy who owns this entertainment business that rents out these machines. And basically the two of them were skimming. The guy who supplied the machines got 25%. The bar owners got 75%. And then they also printed fake receipts to back up if they were ever audited. And the thing is, this potential buyer, this IRS secret agent, gets in there and this is just from 2010 to 2017. That's 10 years. That was $268,000. At the end here it says so the undercover agent got video and audio recordings of them having this meeting, and they're explaining this idea, and the owner of the bar says, "You gotta steal in this business. You ain't gonna make any money." Blatter quoted the vendor and saying,
"Well, you couldn't have said anything worse than that."
Yep, more incriminating.
Oh man, yeah, that's not going to look very good in court.
Have you ever? So, I just watched a movie called Molly's Game. You guys ever heard of it?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think
Is that the one with the chick, the gambling chick who had the poker thing going?
She ran poker games in L.A. and New York for like a decade.
Did that redhead play her? The actress?
Yeah, Jessica Chastain.
Yeah. Okay. I did remember the trailer.
But she fucking it's legal. Like they could gamble and shit. The games were legal as long as she didn't take a rake, as long as she didn't take any money, like a percentage of the pots. They just had to tip at the end of the night. You know what I mean? To get around that law or whatever. But then she started taking rakes to cover in case people didn't fucking pay up. You know what I mean? Because I mean, she didn't have any muscles. She was just a fucking
Well, yeah, and how could
100-pound woman?
You couldn't keep doing that without somehow figuring out to take a little rake.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
a really good movie, though. If you ever forward
into the gambling.
So
go ahead.
I was gonna ask you. Thanks for trying to take over the show, motherfucker. But I'm back. Nice try, nigga. All right, so have any of y'all ever been? I've been to a few casinos, and I've been to Vegas. Have any of y'all ever gambled big or fucking?
Yeah, well, I've gambled a number of times, but never.
I like in a casino. Have you fucking?
Yes, I've gambled in a casino.
Yeah,
I'm just asking.
We have Indian casinos around here, Teddy.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Well,
shit.
I've been to Vegas twice.
Yeah, I've been to Vegas too.
And although, like, I've never really gambled more than like $100.
Yeah, maybe
just because. And usually, I guess I'm one of those people where I don't get that like gambler thrill or whatever. And personally, what I used to like is it was right before the change over was when I was 21. They still had the coin slots where you actually you carried that bucket around, which had some like it was a material weight and the satisfaction of seeing those coins fall,
Right.
scooping them up. And like your hands were just filthy by the end of the night, and walking around and seeing. There was also back when you could still smoke too, and like these senior citizens.
Jesus, bro, how many casinos did you go
and
to?
They're on the. They got oxygen on one thing.
Shit.
They're just like fucking gambling their retirement. This was at Ho Chunk in the Dells. This is when I was like 21.
I don't know where that is.
Wisconsin Dells.
The way you described it in the story, it seemed like you spent a lot of time at casinos.
You just activated Astray's gambling fucking addiction.
Right. He had totally.
I made a lot of notes.
Of therapy.
Put it that way. Like it made an impression on me that like while I enjoyed carrying this tub of nickels around.
It's horrible.
And like the thing is. I like fuck. That whole night I spent only $20 and I played nickel slots. And I would go around, just throw a couple in here, a couple in there. And I think I ended up cashing out about $50 a head. Not bad.
Not bad. Yeah.
And also I've always been kind of one of those like quit winners. Like if you get where you're ahead, especially even if it's just like, something like $40, $50 at the very, like you get ahead and unless you're like, because you got more time to spend, like just quit winners. Take that extra money and drink it at least. Like
Oracle, you ever go to Nakusa?
Yeah, I went there one time.
Where's that?
They used to have it. I don't know if it's 21 now, but it used to be 18. So when I turned 18, we used to go there like fucking 3 times a week. Probably we'd get drunk and just fucking go there. They were open 24 hours. You get there at like 2 a.m. and fucking play blackjack for 4 hours.
Yeah, it's just
in Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's just a greasy little fucking.
It's like a little fucking
casino.
It's not big at all.
Is it a tribal one or not?
Yeah.
Honestly, the best gambling. I've gone to casinos and stuff like that. I never really got into it, but the best gambling that I've ever done was fucking trading Bitcoin. Because there's no regulation on it, so you just trade that shit, and it's just like it's like playing a slot machine.
When I was trading it, was that you were trading it with the your other coins, or what were you trading it with? I guess.
You would trade other coins. You would look. You'd be like, okay, well, I'm going to trade this because the value is going up here, and now it's gonna.
No, what I'm saying. Trading with what other coins?
With cryptocurrency, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Somalian boys.
Yeah, right.
A lot of Russians.
But it was stuff.
Just crazy because like there would be chat rooms and shit, and people would like try to fearmonger and be like, "Oh man, this shit's gonna be crazy. This is gonna be happening," and just like these psychological games.
Yeah,
get people to sell.
Right.
Low.
It was actually really fun.
Oh yeah, that sounds because it sounds like stock market without
without regulation.
Without any regulations
or anything.
Pretty much.
Add in bath salts.
So now, when you here's a question for Oracle and the cryptocurrencies. When you would say cash out, like I got X amount of Bitcoins, Litecoins, Lassie coins, whatever.
Lass coins.
Who these exchanges are the ones who pay you, right? Do they take a certain cut?
Yes.
I'm sure they take a percentage.
So they take a percentage, and the thing that nobody talks about is because the price of these cryptos changes so much.
Yeah,
they're going to give you a lower price
than the actual listed price,
right? Because they can't, so if it's going to drop, you never get, you never exactly get really what
technically the how much of a percentage lower is it?
I don't know. I'm not sure how much lower.
Also, is it also? Do you shop around to exchanges to see which one's offering?
But the thing is, like, especially when I was doing it,
all these questions can be answered and asked after the show.
Yeah, this is an interesting thing of gambling.
It's way
Ashtray,
riskier.
Did you do coke again?
No.
Way riskier and less cost effective than, of course, the people that they want you to know about. Like, it was, and it would take you, it would not be acceptable in any bank by any means, like the cut that they would take and everything. But yeah.
Oh, like the percentage is like, way more than like
be surprised.
But there's no regulation, so they're like,
regulation.
We're gonna take 45%.
Right. Well, not 45%. That's insane, but
I don't know. You're making it sound like it was insane.
It's not
Look
good.
at those payday lending places. Like they're insane, but people still go to them.
Yeah, maybe kind of like a payday lender kind of thing.
Yeah, which is crazy because it makes you wonder. Like, they say that Bitcoin has this value, but the only way to actually get the value is you have to convert it to real
and
currency.
That's where
and once you do that, then it's like, you never get really what you thought you had worth. And also, though, is these exchanges, where do the exchanges have the money that they're actually giving to you? They probably get that because they're skimming all this extra Bitcoin shavings, and they maybe it's like they have massive reserves of Bitcoin
shavings.
Calm down, conspiracy theory, Dan.
I don't know. It's interesting.
It is interesting, and we're gonna move on from that.
Yeah, right.
Jesus goddamn Christ! All right,
we're only 20 minutes into your main topic that you didn't write 10 minutes of.
I know. I told you I gotta get on the road. Quick show, bro.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. All right, anybody else want to say anything about casinos?
He's got to
gambling?
Track down Gary Busey.
I got this other story. No, I'm kidding.
Awesome, cool, way to go. We're gonna move on to one sexy portion of the show. We're gonna start it off first with Mystic. He's got lawsuits and big titty lawyers. Way to go, Ashtray.
Big titty lawyers.
Yeah, you ask somebody to write your fucking what's sexy, and so anytime Ashtray does it for you, he always adds something in.
All right. Well, you can add big-titted lawyers to almost anything, and it will be better.
That's true.
You could have gigantic-titted lawyers, and you add big-titted lawyers to it also, it's better. So.
It's like a gumbo.
Yeah.
Like a gumbo. Perfect.
That's like cheese curds, and then you add gravy and french fries.
Yeah. Right?
Now you got
Canadians, so smart.
Poutine, yeah.
Fucking Canadians. Anyway, so last year, I think it was last year, maybe a year before, I get this letter from this law firm. And it's like, hey, we're suing fucking Wisconsin Hospitality Group, which is the company that owned the Pizza Hut that I worked for, because it was illegal for them to pay you under minimum wage for 7 years or whatever.
Wow.
Do you want in? I'm like, sure. I don't work there anymore. Why the fuck not? So then last year I get a check for I don't know, it was $350 or something. I'm like, that's cool.
Right, now we're doing something.
Fucking dealing with it. Yeah, this is cool. So then they send me another letter at the beginning of this year, and it says, hey, that settlement was way more than we thought. We have to disperse more funds. Are you interested? I'm like, yes.
Right.
Of course.
So then I get a check today for $545.
Damn.
Wait, what was the settlement for again?
What?
Like, what was the actual settlement for?
Shit, dude.
The host, you missed the point of the whole goddamn story.
They don't tell you what the settlement's for. They just said that.
They just sent it to you. All right, well, shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like those things you usually get like 10 cents.
Yeah, right. And so like they said that there's might be more to come too.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Are they like laundering money through you?
I hope so.
I'd
like to be part of Donald Trump's network.
It'd be funny if that was one of those strange things where they make you take out money. They're like, yes, you can get this awesome thing.
No.
You know, and all of a sudden,
I would be skeptical, but the last one cleared, and I got the money, so I'll take this one. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. So long as they're not. Usually, those scam ones are like it's something like you have to cash a check, but then you have to send the money somewhere else.
Send the money somewhere to somebody or some shit.
Whenever they tell you to get Amazon cards from the grocery store, that's the time to be suspicious.
Where'd you go, bro?
It doesn't matter.
Cool. Mystic, you don't have a fuck you think,
homie. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
You don't have a fuck you think in the outline. By the way.
I don't?
Yeah, you don't.
Oh. Okay.
Just let you know.
Keep going.
Oracle, gotcha, motherfucker.
On the Providence Journal, I was looking around at things and had this top headline: DNA analysis leads to arrest in 1988 murder of 10-year-old girl.
Wow.
And this 10-year-old girl, Christine Cole, who was in Central Falls, was just hanging out with friends. She went down to the corner store to grab some milk for her mother and disappeared. And they found her body, 60 days later in a nearby river. And they had no leads whatsoever. And they actually apparently they have like a deck of cards for like these cold cases. And they have them around like correctional facilities and stuff. And they encourage people if there's any leads or anything. And Christine Cole was the Queen of Hearts, and they did like a DNA thing, and because they had found some DNA on her pants
from her evidence.
And a name came up, and it was somebody that was too young to actually have committed the crime, but this guy had committed a crime, and his father, they did some more research, his father actually lived above the corner store where she was last seen. And that's who they have arrested at this point.
Wow. Oh, so is that kind of that reverse DNA tracking is like, I full-heartedly support it, because it's only gonna hurt you if like you actually did it. Right. Your DNA is there.
This guy was free and clear for 30 whatever years. 31 years.
You know what? And makes you wonder, maybe he didn't kill any other kids after that. Maybe it was just a one-time thing. I don't know how that works. But still, that motherfucker is just getting away with it every day for that many years.
And just as like a family or something, their kid disappears and there are just no answers.
Yeah,
and
some monster.
For them to put the work in to do this, because I'm sure there are plenty of cases out there that just they go cold and then nobody bothers to follow through on them. So I think that's cool.
Sexy.
Awesome. Cool.
For a dead 10-year-old.
Next up is Ashtray with Pee Wee Does Me One Last Solid.
So I had to bury old Pee Wee Tuesday. It's going downhill fast. And I'd given my mother a heads up. It was going to be coming down. And so I got her all comfortable into the cat carrier. And had my car running with the AC, keep her comfortable. I go and load her in the passenger seat, but the radio was blaring because normally when I drive home, I just have the windows down, my arm out. And I'm like, oh, it was NPR. I'm like, oh, you poor thing. The last thing you want on your deathbed is NPR blaring in your ears. So I turn the radio down, go back into the house, make sure I got my gun. And, I'm going to get prepared for the old Yeller thing. And I know, like, if I get to where if I feel like I can't do it, my stepdad will do it. The thing also, though, was when I called my mom, my nieces and nephews, like, I could hear them in the background screaming, Uncle Craig, yeah, come on. I'm like, oh, God. So now it's like, be like, keep the kids inside for a moment. Like, do I want me blowing my cat's brains out imprinted upon my nieces and nephews? I don't know.
This is the weirdest cat murder story I've ever heard, and this is the first one I've ever heard. So.
I know my brother wouldn't care, but as I'm just kind of myself thinking, like, do I want to be? So, anyways, I go back in the house, grab my gun. Like, I'm only gone for a minute and a half, and I come back out, get into the car, and I and I'm like, Pee-wee, oh, you look really comfortable.
She died.
Pee-wee?
No shit.
She died.
Wow.
Fucking NPR killed her.
Wow, dude, that's a great story.
And she did me, I know, like, she did me this solid where, like, it didn't have to do the old Yeller thing. And I'm like, oh, goddamn, I couldn't help but laugh. I'm like, thanks, girl. Like, you just decided, like, I'll just pass right now while you're in there grabbing your shit. And I saw one little kind of fleeting spasm of her body. But, yeah, like, for the most, like, she had passed while I was in there for just a minute.
Nice. You should send that story into NPR for their donor fucking week or whatever.
Actually, I was thinking that could be one for what is that, Moth Radio Hour or something like because I think they air that on NPR.
You should adjust that story just a little bit and send it into Penthouse.
I don't think the story is complete because I think with that spasm, I don't think she was dead. I think he buried your cat alive. She just went to sleep.
No, because it's a 2-hour drive, and I was like, well, I don't even have to worry about blasting my music because I was like trying to keep her as comfortable as possible. But I'm like, fuck, I have my music blaring, and I'm riding down with a dead cat, riding shotgun, petting Pee-wee. They're like, all right, going to see Tootsie now.
You were still petting her?
Jesus Christ.
But here and there. It wasn't like she was falling apart, I mean, like she just died.
Wow, though.
You are a weird person.
My niece and nephew pet her.
While she was dead? You had your niece and nephew pet the carcass of a dead cat?
Back up, Teddy. 2 hours later for 10 minutes so the niece and nephew pet her.
Then she died again. Funerals will sometimes touch the hands of the loved one in the casket. They're dead.
Oh my God.
Jesus
I love it when Teddy gets introduced to fucking crazy white person.
Crazy white farm culture. Yes.
Jesus Christ. What is wrong with you?
That's my what's sexy. She did me a solid.
that took a sharp turn to darkness. Like, Jesus Christ. All right, next up is me with R. Kelly in jail again. And they got this nigga in jail again. They got.
That's it. That's
no, it's not it. No, Jesus Christ. God damn it, just an asshole. He's this motherfucker. They got him on charges. Oh fucking god damn it! Where'd he go? Give me a minute. I know.
Charges. God damn it!
I had to open the pages up. Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, 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 boom. Teddy ain't ready.
Okay, sorry. He's facing one count. He's facing 1 count of child conspiracy to receive child pornography, 2 counts of receiving child pornography, 4 counts of producing child pornography, 5 counts of enticing a minor to engage in criminal sexual activity, and 1 count of conspiracy to obstruct justice. Because apparently he was making tapes. They got a bunch of tapes now. He was making tapes, and tapes from his collection came missing. So he started paying people off to get them back. To get his tapes back because he can code onto his shit. So yeah, so I think they officially got this nigga going to jail for a long, long time. because I don't think he can say it's not him anymore.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it ain't him.
I swear it ain't me. Well, nigga, you on stage at fucking the concert.
Judge
That's not what.
so the judge
Maybe
didn't
it's
grant
T.
bail because
Yeah, he believed he would fly. That's awesome. Way to go, Mystic. Way to bring it full circle. I
believe you're gonna fly.
All right. Next up is our fuck what you think section, and we're gonna start off with Mystic, if he has one.
Yeah. So there's this Apple commercial, and it has this song. It's by Tessellated. Was that what his name was? Yeah,
I think so.
Anyway. And it's called "I Learned Jazz Today." Song's really cool. I like it. And it's catchy as fuck. So I was like, oh, I'll check out some other fucking songs by this dude. And they all suck. I hate when that shit happens. I hate when I find an artist, like I'll find some metal fucking song and be like, man, this is fucking badass. And I go listen to the rest of the album, is just shit.
Well, sometimes you gotta, I don't know. For me, I gotta listen to, sometimes they'll grow on me, but I haven't listened to the other stuff. I only listened to the one.
Yeah, so anyway, that's it. That's the whole thing. I just hate when that fucking, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, if you can write a really good song one time, you could do it multiple times. I don't, like...
It's a great name, Tessellated.
Yeah, kind of.
It almost sounds like it should be an 80s metal band. Tessellated.
Right?
Yeah, right.
It's just a cool... The song is a cool mix of fucking, like, hip-hop, jazz,
reggae.
fucking reggae.
Yeah.
Soul.
Oh yeah, she's always in this shit. I think, like I said earlier, a good thing that I like about it when I played the song on Spotify and let it go to radio by that artist and shit. It played Stop Cropper with that song, and I found a couple new artists, and one whose album sounds pretty cool. So. Well, next move on.
Almost pretty cool. Not cool.
Well, I've only listened to like 3 or 4 songs. That's why I haven't got to fucking
the level down.
I think he's gonna drop because I think he's got like 26 tracks on there. So I'm like, maybe it's like so I think he's gonna drop down. All right, next up is me with the goddamn Face app. I got on Facebook the other day and saw this fucking shit where people are making themselves look 80. Like, what the? Who gives a fuck what you're gonna look like when you goddamn 80? I don't get why.
We're all gonna be dead by then anyway.
You have to admit, it was impressive, like, you know, technology, and it totally that sucked up on those people who are fucking idiots. You know, like, oh yeah, it's so cool. I'll download anything if it's cool.
Right.
I mean, that's fun. That's my point. I have a problem with this fucking. The people are getting dumber. We're getting toward idiocracy. I'm not a big fan of it.
Well, you did hear the story behind it now, right?
Jesus, here we go.
What story do you want to waste 20 minutes on? Go ahead. The floor is yours. Go ahead. It's all yours.
No, it's your fuck what you think.
Now the Russians.
You just think the Face app thing is just dumb because it's dumb? Well, I mean, yeah, it's dumb because it's dumb. Yeah,
it's called a fuck what you think. I get the bitch about something. It doesn't have to make sense. I can bitch about you fucking telling a story right now. And it can be a fuck what you think.
You're right. Okay.
It's not that we all have to agree on something that somebody doesn't like.
Get back on your tablet and look up. Apparently, it's made in Russia, and everybody now is saying don't use it because of the terms and agreements are kind of cloudy.
You have to grant access to your photos and videos.
Yeah.
But you have to do that with fucking Instagram and all those other apps too.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that data gets sold to Russians. So really, they're just cutting out the middleman. They're being savvy business people. So if anyone's ever used fucking any of those apps to begin with, they already got your shit. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That's why I don't fuck with shit like that. You know what I mean?
I don't fuck with shit like that either. I think you're retarded.
Well, let alone
and that's why it's my fuck what you think, Ashtray.
I guess I was surprised that you. Like your fuck what you think was just because it was dumb and not because it is dumb. Using a Russian app.
Ashtray, did you use the Face app?
No.
Yeah, he fucking yes. He did. You did.
I already look old enough. Why would I use that? No.
I think if I remember right, my kids at like Snapchat or Instagram, one of them has one of those.
Snapchat had that gender thing, and
I thought it was an age. They had an age one too. I could have sworn.
And they might, Snapchat might, but this, I guess, Face App is a whole separate. The thing is, the term of agreements is very vague, and that they claim the only thing they upload is the image itself of the people. And sure, it may only be, they're just getting facial recognition information of Americans. But still, like, they think it's a dumb fucking thing, and then to find out that Russia's behind it. Fuck.
Well, that just makes me
reaffirms your fucking
how dumb is it? How funny would it be if they made the app that turns you to an 80-year-old person, so they could scam you like an 80-year-old person, make you feel like a dumbass?
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty funny. Anyway, next is Ashtray with White Woman is Afraid.
Oh, the you probably didn't hear this story, Mystic. Or Milwaukee since, but there was this news story the other day. This woman, she's out on her morning jog, and she's like, this red van with 2 males inside was driving slowly on the street and looking at me, and then they stopped. So I ran up to this house and hoped that they would think I was just going to my house. And no one would answer the door. And then I waited. And then they started driving back the other way slowly. And so I cut through the woods and I ran back to my house and I called my husband. And so they alerted police and the police started scouring. And the even the people whose house she was like trying to get into, the cops go there and they get their video camera surveillance. Here's pictures of the van. But so anyways, the cops are able to chase the van down. They find these people. Turns out, 2 men, no criminal record. They were buying a mattress from Craigslist, and they were having a hard time finding the address.
That's funny.
And so they're slowing down. And this woman out on her jog, they're looking at me. They're trying to abduct me.
That is funny.
And then she's like, I'm going to run through the woods. I'm going to call the police. And it's like, this guy even on I'm on the Madison, Wisconsin Reddit thread, and this guy started sharing pictures of the van. He was like, we're trying to find these, predators, blah, blah, blah.
That is fucking hilarious.
And then, the cops even were like, dude, don't put that van. Like, we don't know who these people are yet.
Where was this at? Is
this
it in Madison or is it a suburb of Madison?
That's funny.
It wasn't Middleton or like one of the fucking
Madison's east side. It was somewhere here on the Madison's east side. It was
east side.
But it was probably up like where the governor's mansion is and stuff, where all the rich fucking old houses are. Because I could see that. I could imagine almost any house that has video surveillance now.
That's like a Harold and Kumar kind of.
No shit, right? So,
yeah. Basically, the cops said, it was just a somewhat strange occurrence of circumstance.
We're just looking for a White Castle. Fuck that old bitch.
Well, and the thing is, so they had a hard time finding the address. They were driving slowly, and they said they did come to a stop at that area where the woman was running. And they had video of them.
Well, it's not illegal.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's not illegal.
What the fuck?
And
it is if you're black. It is.
Bitch.
Well, and it turns out like they did find the address for the Craigslist person, and they did buy the mattress. Like they did find their thing. It wasn't like their story was, we were just looking for a mattress. Right. It's like, here's a mattress we bought.
A van, you need something to put the mattress in.
Exactly. And they're driving slow.
Get around.
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. All right, next up we got Oracle with Ants. What are you losing to now, buddy? What has invaded your house now?
Oh no.
That's totally I'm sorry, it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's
right?
A good one.
There's an Ants episode.
No. Oh my god.
He's talking about the van scenario, man.
Right? It's not the ants, dude.
Right, yeah.
my fucking house, like all the apartments and houses around this area are 100 years old at least. And they're fucking just, you might as well be living outside sometimes. I'm serious. Like, a month ago they were doing some work on the outside, and I go in my kitchen, I'm just like, what is that light that I can see in the corner of the counter? And I realized I was seeing the fucking outside of my house from my kitchen. Like, there's no fucking insulation. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Wow. Yeah. Or at least in
the
my
thermal camera. Okay. Yeah. Jesus. It's crazy.
What?
What are you talking about, man?
Thermal camera?
Wait, I thought you said
eyes.
Yeah,
no, my eyes. I could see outside of my house
through
from my
wall?
kitchen, through the wall.
You have a thermal camera in your eyes?
Never mind.
Anyway.
I thought you had a thermal camera app.
Anyway, there are fucking bugs. You know, bugs come in, and right now is the time where we battle the little fucking ants.
Mm-hmm.
And we're actually doing okay. We're actually doing pretty good against them. But I'm at work today, and I have my TV dinner that I have for lunch, and I have an apple, and I have my little trail mix.
Why even have the apple and trail mix if you're having a fucking TV dinner?
My little fucking trail mix. And TV dinner, great. Fucking apple, great. I go to eat my fucking trail mix, and I pull it out, and fucking ants come falling out. I'm like, what the
in the trail mix?
In the trail mix. These little assholes had chewed a little fucking hole in the bag, in the plastic bag.
Wow.
Yeah. And
that's Mother Nature.
Yeah, and they got into my shit. I can tolerate it up to a point, and honestly, after that, I was just like, "You little fuckers."
That's
right. You can tolerate it to a point, but that point is your trail mix. When you fuck with my trail mix, you done fucked up.
Fuck with my trail.
You done fucked up.
So yeah, I'll tell you what.
What are you doing?
You got spiders and shit. I fucking keep those motherfuckers around because know
they'll kill the ants.
Yeah, they're gonna be killing the ants. I'm way more tolerant with that shit than I used to be. When I used to see a spider, I'd be like, "Oh my fucking god!" Now, if it's not like biting me in the face, we're good, dude. Right. Fucking go on.
Is that a thing you have to worry about in Rhode Island? Because
spiders biting.
Right. Just like, watch out for the spiders. What? What did you say?
Yeah, so just the ant battle.
So what are you're saying? Okay, I draw the line because that is a line. You get in my granola. That's the line.
Yeah, don't
what
fucking chew holes.
My granola.
What are you doing?
If you're on the counter, that's fine. You know, if I leave something out, that's fine. Don't chew holes through my fucking bags, dude.
How are you?
Well, that's what they're after. I mean, they're gonna. They're fine.
How are you fighting back?
Honestly, I'm not at this point.
What?
So you just talking shit without backing it up, huh?
Hey,
man,
if they get into another bag of my shit, I'm going fucking nuclear.
You gotta put those little things out that they crawl into and get that weird
don't
syrup.
Work worth a shit.
Yeah, they do.
You're starting to sound like an abused wife, man. You gotta stand up for yourself. Call the cops. Right? Put some work in. You know what I'm saying?
Call the cops.
Do something. You know what I'm saying?
Get out the dustbuster.
I mean, not literally calling cops, but you gotta. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fucking
why
be a
can't
man.
They just coexist, guys? Why does he have to remove them? What's the big deal?
I'm just a cis white male.
Yeah,
living with these
white cis male. Ain't gonna. He's
with these cis ants.
Wants to let
cis ants.
Oh my god. Y'all are fucking retarded.
Sissy ass motherfuckers.
Yeah. Sissy ass.
Yeah, you sissy ass.
Sissy ass and get back in line and carry something. You'll never be a queen.
What? What?
That's some good shit, man. You got to make a meme.
Do it.
Oh yeah, God.
Post it up on that chick fucking page.
You sissy and get back in line. You'll never be.
Cool. Anybody got anything else to add to this great this great meeting of minds?
I like tacos.
I bet you do, fatty. All right. So go fuck yourself.
Everybody likes tacos. Don't bring my fatness into
tacos.
Yeah, tacos are good.
If you don't like tacos, you're dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What? Oh, fuck you. My son doesn't like tacos.
Well,
he'll come around.
Have you had him checked?
He's only 6, so.
He's only 6, yeah.
In all seriousness, go fuck yourself, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and Ashtray for saying my son is dumb because he doesn't like tacos.
Oh.
That's our show. We're going to be here every Wednesday or Thursday night at 10 p.m. Central. Make sure you join the conversation at therewriterreport.com or facebook.com/therewriterreport. You can Twitter us at fuck. Why do we still have the Twitter part in there? I don't get that.
Because it's always fun to read it.
To say, all right? Yeah. Deal with it.
Part of the charm.
We just keep copying and pasting the outline.
Our amateur ending.
Nobody takes it out. That's what it is.
The running joke now. You got to.
Oh, you did. Like and share and fuck us. We're down for whatever. I'm Teddy.
I'm Asher.
Jesus.
I knew you guys were going to fight over it.
And there's Mystic. He didn't say.
I said I'm Mystic.
I didn't hear you say. I thought you said you can go. Yeah, whatever. This is Reddit Report.
I'm Mystic.
Oh, we know, Will. We know who you are.
Do the Mystic.
You're the guy nobody likes.
Yeah.
Because we can't see you. I wonder, who is this guy? You know what? We should do a GoFundMe for Mystic's camera webcam.
Whoa. You okay? Still here. Give me a fright there, pal. Done. Hang on. I got this. We're done. Get out up here. Come take a look at this. It's a Jedi fighter. What a score. It's a real scrapper's payday. I mean, this he's been here, what, 4 years?
5.
Whoever flew this went down in a blaze of glory. Those Jedi. Real tragedy. Yeah, I've always said they couldn't all be traitors.
Yeah, maybe.
I guess it's just our lucky day. Empire's gonna get a lot of good material out of it. Yeah, here we are, scrapping these ships from the war just so they can turn around and make new ones. What a racket, huh? All of us risking our necks for the bosses. And the pay was better back during the Republic, too.
Hey, you really should watch what you say.
Listen to me. Find us feel like this, to be your ticket off this soggy rock.
What makes you think I want out of here?
Come on, Cal, you're a young guy. You don't end up like me. Eventually, you gotta move on and live your life. Find your destiny.
Whatever you say. Hey, we should get back down.
You're not listening to me. What is that?
You okay?
Cal! I can't climb up!
Just hang on!
Send me!
No, don't let go!
I can't hold on!
No! You okay, bro?
I'm all right. Just pin down.
Pilot's gun! I'll get us out of here. Just hang on.
Watch out, Cal!
Look out! This thing is barely flying. Hold on! Bro, you all right?
Yeah. Okay, we
gotta move. Come on.
Hell happened? What was that back there? Was that you? Well, that was the Force, wasn't it?
Just forget what you saw, okay? Please trust me.
I've seen the stories. I've heard it. There's bounties out on people like you.
I know.
We need to be careful. Yeah. You holding up okay?
Good. Yeah, you?
Yeah. Cal, I've been working with you some time now. I've never seen you do anything like that before. We've been through some hell together. So, I know the risk that you took for me. I don't know how to repay you.
Don't mention it. I mean it.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. This place, it's not safe. Maybe you should, disappear.
Just gotta head back to my place, grab my bag. Tappers owes me a favor.
I heard he was up on Nashidella.
Yeah. You won't be seeing me for a while, bro.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Cal.
Prof? Prof, wait up. Where are you going?
Mark well and listen.
Master.
Trust only in the Force.
Train has stopped.
Yeah, something's going on.
Everybody up. Identification ready.
Yeah, Dev, no. The fact that you only ate free-range chicken doesn't change anything. Okay, now that you have all been appointed your personal demons, we can now assign you your torture. Your torture will take place during regular office hours by a certified sadist. Exempting holidays and Medusa's birthday, even though I don't know why we bother that.
Office hours? Do people get, like, time off?
Hey, Norma Ray, it ain't for the people, it's for the demons. You think getting whipped for 10 hours is hard? Try swinging the cat o' nine tails all the livelong day. You'll pray to trade seats. Abigail Cunningham?
Yes?
Your bones will be broken every day by a ball-peen hammer for the sin of repeatedly misusing the express lane in grocery stores.
But I always have more than 15 things.
Oh my god, Milo, she's...
Dev Sedana and Marcy Sullivan.
No.
It's you. We just did this like 2 minutes ago.
He knows.
Oh my God, Marcy, will you just back me up on something for once?
Milo, this is it. Okay, we gotta get out of here.
Lola, what the hell do you think we can even...
Now, for robbing all those liquor stores, Dev will be suspended from a pole by his genitals.
What?
While children use your head like a tetherball, weather permitting. Marcy, your tits will be consumed by snapping turtles, only for them to regrow larger every day, giving you intense back pain when you jog.
But we only rob Jewish liquor stores.
Now, Milo and Lola, for the sin of being too late to get assigned a punishment, you get to wander the city until tomorrow. Have fun. See you later. I'm going to get drunk.
Wait, what was our crime? Our sin?
Our hours are 9 to 6, guys.
Can't you just tell us now?
Come back in the morning when we're open.
Okay, but what are we supposed to do until then?
Sightsee, meet people, might as well carve out your shitting hole. And hey, don't worry, you'll be having maggots forced up your nose soon enough.
Well, what the hell are we supposed to do now?
Hey, you two could have told me that guy got another ride.
What?
Bollinger. Jimmy? I was looking for him earlier. The guy got another ride, that's all. You could have fucking told me.
We're, sorry? We didn't know we were supposed to tell you anything. We just got here.
I'm just fucking with you. Sorry, you're confused. I'm being mean. Okay, I'm a psychopomp. Friend of Urshanabi, Tooth of Phlegius, Charon's lost dog.
Uh-huh.
I'm a cab driver. A ferryman, to be, specific.
Oh, a psychopomp.
I'm sure the answer to this is no, but can you, like, ferry us out of here?
That depends. Where do you want to go?
Honestly, just anywhere but here, for starters.
I like the low expectations. Look, I just clocked in, but I need a fare. You guys look clean enough. You want to roll with me on a chore I gotta do? It's at First and Izzard. I gotta see about a friend, but I'll introduce you to some people. Huh? I'm Sam, by the way. Sam Hill. Short for Samantha. Short for Silithial Machidial.
Milo.
Lola.
Mr. Milo, Miss Lola. I'm nicer than I look. What do you say? I promise I won't bite.
I'm getting the same feeling I did when that guy in the van tried to sell me a raccoon. I'm choosing to trust this.
What the fuck else are you gonna do with your night, right? Come on, my ride's this way. Won't be a long trip.
Hell, huh?
Yeah, the days have worn away, haven't they? I can tell you cats were new. Dead-eyed and pig-tailed. So I guess I'll hit the questions everyone has. First of all, whatever church you went to, whatever faith, they were a little right and a lot wrong. Ah, here's my little bundle of joy. I should give her a name. Never really had the time, though. Or the desire. Hop on in, but mind the leather. It's perfectly safe, don't worry.
Oh, okay. It's, the seat's wet.
Oh, yeah, that's probably your end. Okay, everybody in? Great.
Ragweed allergies?
Oh, probably not.
Probably fucking not.
Or maybe it would only happen if you were like a traveler where you go across an ocean and hit some new land. Yeah. Maybe a new plant might fuck with you. But which is crazy how much people traveled even back then. Fucking 1600s.
Like the infant mortality rate was probably 60-70%.
I can hear you now.
You can hear me, buddy.
That shit on mute. I'll get meta and have us play in the background of my background monitor.
Don't you dare mute me. I will be heard.
I said meta. Motherfucker.
You did. So I was pissing when you were talking about Black Wall Street. Is this going to be good?
There's
black
your
people
answer.
always trying to take our shit. Like they got black Twitter, black entertainment television.
All right. We are live now.
He's just not going to answer me. Is this going to be a good episode?
Yeah, it's going to be a good episode. I'm sorry, I lost my notes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a good episode because otherwise, I was going to talk about economic bubbles, and I'm like, you guys are gonna fucking dork, nerd. So I was thinking about this, and this was a story that was a couple months ago. Someone told me, and they're like, I found out about this crazy thing called Black Wall Street. And I'm like, never heard of that. And he's also this guy who's normally a bullshitter. Because I was kind of like, is he just making this up? Because it sounded ridiculous. They're like, yeah, they fucking were flying planes and bombing them and shit. So, it's going to be a pretty good episode. It turns out it's true. So this week on the Red Eye Report, we're talking about Wall Street, but not Whitey's Wall Street, but the Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Never heard of it? Well, that's because the Whiteys tried to burn it off the whole damn map. As always, we have Meat Mountain Mystic, Cat Piss Curtains Oracle, Taint Terrorizer Teddy, and me, Ashtray, the asshat of alliteration. And this is the Red Eye Report.
Hey, that was short
and sweet.
Nice and tight.
Teddy didn't even hear it.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm making hot water for tea, and I got my electric cutter right here, and I didn't want y'all to fucking...
Taint Terrorizer Teddy. All right. So Black Wall Street. Turns out it was this area in it was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was a neighborhood called the Greenwood District. Yep. And this happened in between May 31st and June 1st of 1921. 21.
21, Teddy.
Just back up his story.
Not bad, sorry.
So it's considered the single worst incident of racial violence in America. Like white residents, in the sense of it, they attacked the residents of this Greenwood district.
I thought Trump getting elected was.
Yeah, right. So the Greenwood district was called, nickname was actually the Negro Wall Street. Jesus, Teddy. And nowadays we probably call it Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street. Sorry.
Mute it, damn it.
I did mute it. Shut up.
Right. What are you doing, man?
It usually comes to my audio. Usually comes through my headset, but it didn't this time. Fuck you.
Anyways, this was at the time in the 1920 was the most wealthy black community in all of America.
Yep.
Like they had all kinds of
Atlanta of the 20s.
Yeah, essentially, it was organized in 1906, and they had several grocery stores, 2 newspapers, nightclubs, 2 movie theaters, many churches, and plenty of professionals, doctors, lawyers, clergy, dentists.
All black owned.
Yep. And so like a lot of even the construction and building of businesses there was actually made with black investment. It wasn't like a full Wall Street per se, but the place was wealthy enough that they weren't having to go to white banks.
Right.
To
they
fund
were
their neighborhood.
Self-sustained community.
Yeah. And essentially, it was also supported because Tulsa, Oklahoma, at the time was considered the oil capital of America or the world, just because it was the oil boom at the time.
Sure. So, was there like kind of a source for this stability? Like, where did they get the money from, or was it just the community that banded together?
It was the community. Like it said, it was founded in 1906, and this is right after 1905. That was it Fred? I'm Teddy Booker T. Washington. That's who. I was thinking Frederick Douglass, but one of those old famous time civil rights
colored fellas.
Yeah, colored fellas. Booker T. Washington was touring Arkansas and like doing these basically he was finding black communities that were pretty well stable and full of professionals and educated people that they could kind of hold their own. And so he also visited the next year, 1906, the Greenwood district of Tulsa. So it's already Tulsa, Oklahoma, but this neighborhood becomes this hub known as Greenwood, also Black Wall Street. It was like the north side of Tulsa.
And it wasn't very small. It wasn't small. It was about 35 city blocks.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not saying it's small or anything like that, but it was, I guess, how it grew into stability was that it was a neighborhood of Tulsa, greater Tulsa. And so, yeah, and just to give you some of the rough, quick statistics is that there was 35 plus blocks of homes and businesses that ended up being destroyed and burned. 800 plus people were sent to the hospitals. 6,000 of the black residents were arrested, many for days, were held in detention centers. 36 dead was the original Oklahoma State statistic. The thing is, like, decades after this happened, there was silence. Like, both black and white people just didn't talk about it, and the state in general took it out of the history books. Some of the old newspaper microfilms that were actually people went in and destroyed some of these articles that inflamed this riot. There was a commission started in '96, which Oklahoma, basically the state made a commission. They're like, we should fully investigate what really happened here because our state tried to hide it. In 2001 is when they finally came out with their final report. So it's only since 2001 that people have really been educated on what actually happened. So what started it, so I already kind of gave you the time and setting. It was May 30th, 1921. This guy, old Dick Rowland, he was a 19-year-old black shoe shiner. And he entered the elevator, and it was the Drexel building. It was a building on Main Street downtown. Had a single elevator that had a top floor restroom, which was like a black only restroom. It was they couldn't use any of the other nice ones on the first floor. And
segregation was in full swing.
So Sarah Page, the 17-year-old white chick, was the elevator operator. The commission, after all the research, assumes that they would know each other in passing because he would have gone to this bathroom many times before.
Yeah.
And anyways, the 17-year-old chick starts screaming in the elevator when it comes back down on the first floor. And Dick Rowland, the 19-year-old shoe shiner, runs out of the elevator. Shop owner comes in the elevator, and Sarah Page is all flustered or whatever. And of course, he's like, rape! He raped her! So they call the authorities. But actually, the police in general realized quickly it was not, like, she was not assaulted. That was the word they used for rape back then. So they just did a low key.
Or what?
So yeah, why was she yelling?
So they don't really know because this is how much the cops were like, okay, not a real serious crime happened here because they didn't take a written statement. And she also agreed later she wasn't going to press any charges.
Yeah.
What the commission thinks in all their investigation, because there's all they could get was rumors at the time of what sparked this riot. And it's like, and it was this newspaper posting this salacious story that he raped her in the elevator. And so the cops, though, were like, we're not going to send a manhunt. Like, we'll talk to our people on the ground. And eventually, like, a black detective was the one who found him, arrested him, turned him in. And the commission thinks maybe he tripped, fell into her, or maybe they had just some sort of quarrel. But there was, at the time, too, there were rumors that they were secret lovers, but they think that's highly unlikely, too. So
secret lover.
Yep. The
Jungle Fever.
So that day, on Monday, like, word starts going fast around the neighborhood that, like, this black shoe shine boy raped old Sarah Page. And so all of a sudden, like, once he got arrested, there was the sheriff, Willard McCullough. He was actually like, we can't let this guy get fucking taken by the mobs and lynched because a year prior, in 1920, there was a white murder suspect, and the previous sheriff was unable to stop a mob who came in and took this white suspect and lynched him right in the town square. So, like, of course, black
if they did that to a white dude,
exactly. If they
what
did
the
it to a
fuck
white
are they
dude,
gonna do to a black dude? Jesus.
Yeah.
Right?
And so this new sheriff was like, I'm determined. I'm not going to let this guy get lynched. So he took him from the, like, not, the regular sheriff's department jail cell into the courthouse. They had a top level jail cell, took him up there, put with 6 of his own men around armed, and put men on the rooftop of the courthouse and basically killed the power to the elevator and blockaded the stairwell.
Jeez.
And yeah, so
all to protect some colored.
Protect this color boy? Yeah, well, we need to just take out here for the street.
Yes, because we's people too, god damn it.
So because there was literally
make an inspirational movie about this
by the
starring Matthew McConaughey.
So
St. Jackson.
The black people in Greenwood knew as well. They're like, they're gonna lynch him. If they lynched that white guy last year, they're gonna lynch old Dick tonight. So they start getting, apparently these are names of some of the riders who started.
You hear about Dick Rowan?
Listen to some of these names. This one was Will Robinson, who is a dope peddler and all-around bad Negro. There was also Peg Leg Taylor.
What?
Peg Leg Taylor.
Peg Leg Taylor. Pub Bassett. Henry Van Dyke. Chester Ross. Fatty.
Who the fuck are these people?
O.B. Mann. And W.S. Weaver. These were people who ran some of the clubs. They were in the black community. So, like, they were kind of the black gangsters of Greenwood.
So funny.
Yeah, Peg Leg Taylor. So the at this time as well, it's 1921. So World War I is finished, and all these black soldiers who fought in the war are back.
Okay,
and so,
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, and a lot of these black soldiers were like, I've just fought in the fucking war for this country. Like they, or what the white man at the time would call, they were more uppity and thought like they
were
rights.
getting uppity for sure. Yeah.
Right? Oh, you're not a citizen just because you served in the war. So, and being veterans, like they had arms, so they
Michael Rooker could be the sheriff.
They all went and got their guns.
These niggas are getting uppity in here.
Yeah.
Well, no, the sheriff was for him because he protected.
Oh yeah, he'd be the head of the mob. We ride against these uppity niggas at dawn, boys.
So the white mob is outside the courthouse, and a group of armed black men come up to the courthouse. Ooh. And they claim they're there to support the sheriff because the sheriff's trying to protect the prisoners. Sheriff claims, don't need your help. And the mob is like, who the fuck told you that? And they're like, the sheriff told us to do it. Like, whether the sheriff claims he never told them, but that's like what the armed black men said as their reason for showing up. They left, come back with 75 armed black men.
Damn.
Yeah, right?
Guns and shotguns.
Got a problem.
Show up to the course. But mind you, there's still 1,000 white people plus outside the courthouse. So they still are pretty outnumbered.
Got pitchforks and fucking torches, though.
Right?
Those 75 black people got some balls then.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, man, they just came back from fucking World War I.
Right.
They survived.
We fought the Kaiser, you fucking white cunt.
So, and they were also the black men in Greenwood, these guys who were, the kind of black mob gangsters. They, and some of these World War I vets, they started getting, you also have to forget that this is the advent of automobiles being available for anyone with some regular means now. Right. So they were getting in cars and driving around the neighborhood with their guns out the window.
Model T chases and
coming up, and yeah, they were basically, just kind of doing reconnaissance, seeing how big the crowd was getting, and also letting them know that they were ready.
Cars, right?
What's that?
And these are black dudes driving around in cars, right?
Yeah, they were black dudes driving around in cars with guns. So it's like for white people to see black men with rifles driving around in a nice car.
Yeah, it's the end of the world.
Yeah, right.
So these 75 armed men come up and they are like, we want, they again say that we're here to help the sheriff protect the prisoner. And the sheriff's people are like, we didn't ask for you. And one of these white guys is now
here before you get killed. Dummy.
They're saying this is the crowd may have been up to around 2,000 people.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they don't really know exactly what happened. They think someone tried to disarm one of the black men, or told him to, to drop his gun, or someone may have even just fired a warning shot in the air. But that initial shot went off, and then it just became this like fucking gunfight.
Just fucking the Wild West.
And it was they said it was over in just, a matter of seconds. Like it was just kind of like the crowds just started shooting at each other because the white people had seen them driving around with guns. A lot of white people throughout that day went back home and gunned up and came out.
Got there. Yeah.
So they had rearmed themselves because they're like, Negroes with rifles and cars? Oh my.
Good guys gotta get a gun.
So that initial couple second fight, 10 dead white people, 2 dead black people. And I'm sure some
got aim, huh?
Yeah, right. I'm sure
shoot the scare, these niggas can't shoot.
Dozens, wounded by crossfire and stuff. But so the black men retreat back to Greenwood, and the white mobs basically just follow them right into that neighborhood. They start looting stores. They're getting down into like the main track.
So white people were looting black businesses.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's all. They looted the shit out of these poor people.
They actually tried to keep them out because they set a barricade up by the train tracks because you had to cross over the train tracks to get over there. So they set up a barricade trying to keep them out. But there was a
division line of
there was like a division line, yeah. And they
so that was kind of the no man's land throughout most of this riot was along these rail tracks. But the white mob goes right into Greenwood, and there's, remember, 2 movie theaters, and I guess the pedestrians who are just coming out of a movie are just like, what the fuck? And the white mob just starts shooting black pedestrians. They even killed one white man on accident, they said in the report.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was accidentally holding a black girl's hand.
Yeah. So so throughout the night, they're robbing, basically they're looting into those black businesses. And they were kicking people out of their homes and then just looting their homes. And because they know when they're putting black people out on the street, they were getting basically arrested for the most part if they weren't actually putting up a fight and getting just shot. Because there were black snipers up in the churches. There was a witness report of, like when bunch of white guys in a car decide they're going to drive in with their guns over into Greenwood, and like the armed black men just fucking killed all of them.
Wow.
But by that night there were gunfights continue up throughout the night, and they had basically gone to the National Guard building and started getting arms from there, the white mob. So by the time into Wednesday early morning on June 1st, at around 1 a.m., the fires start. And the white mob they basically start shooting at any of the firefighters who try to put fires out in the black neighborhood. And so it's kind of this. There's accusations that the city conspired, and that like the white firefighters were like in cahoots with the government to only put out fires in the white buildings or white, properties. But there's also reports from the firefighters themselves of being like, we couldn't even try to go over there. We started getting shot at. It wasn't like we were conspiring with the city to not put these fires out, but we weren't even like able to drive into the neighborhood without getting shot at by the white mob. And so like that's like a core root too to like why the black community has a big distrust in the entire, the city services and the police. They then a bunch, like about a dozen or more airplanes, mind you, this is 1921, So think of World War I airplanes. Fucking Red Baron and shit.
Red Baron
flying around.
And shit.
Yeah. And they were dropping these, what they call them?
Nitro bombs.
Yeah, they were fire bombs, basically. They were like tar fire bombs on the rooftops to set the rooftops on fire.
Holy shit.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't napalm at the time, but similar kind of, a flammable ball of sticky shit.
A combustible element.
A firebomb of some sort. And they were shooting with rifles out of the planes. So I don't think any of the planes weren't war planes with machine guns on them because they weren't Air Force or anything like that.
Well, there probably wasn't that much of a difference between an Air Force plane and just a plane that you're dropping incendiary bombs out of.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just saying, like, they didn't have machine guns like the Red Baron would have, because there were planes like that. But these were just literally getting up there with
crop dusters and shit.
Yeah, with their fucking rifles and stuff and taking shots at anyone out in the street, anyone black. And also machine guns,
though, especially at night. How can you tell who you shoot at is black or white? I mean, it's not like they have spotlights on the
planes. Came later in the day. Because the National Guard from Oklahoma City arrived at 9:15 a.m. In the area, and so they finally kind of quelled down most of the fighting between gangs of black men and the general big white mob. And basically, they also arrested any black people. They're just all arrested, taken to kind of like the fairgrounds, and held for a couple of days.
Hurricane Katrina.
And ended up, let's see here. What was some of these stats? They estimated around 100 to 300 people probably died.
Wow.
I kind of got the ends of my notes here, but Walter Francis, who was an NAACP reporter or member, he worked for them in New York. He traveled immediately to Tulsa because this did make national news at the time. His estimate was about 50 white people dead and 150 to 200 black people dead. And most of the deaths were not from fires because they literally kicked the black families out and then just looted their house. And then because the black families would then just get thrown in line with all the other black people and marched off to the fairgrounds to be detained. And they would steal their shit and then burn the house down.
Damn. So what the hell happened to these people?
Fucking ruthless.
The reason they were doing it is because they said they were upset because when you walk into the neighborhood, you got black people who had pianos in their house, and they got a white dude who didn't have a piano in his house. It's like community. I mean, it was, like you said, it's a self-sustaining economic community. Everybody in the community was pretty much wealthy. They had nice houses, and they had shit. So the white people across town didn't have shit. So
they had what they're called, the Red Summer, I think. At the time when it was. Yeah, Red Summer. There it is. 1919, the Red Summer. There were all kinds of race riots in cities around the Midwest and in the South. So this is just a couple of years prior. So the time, because in 1919 they were coming back from the war.
So is this?
So in the climate and the time, they see it as. Hey, you're back. Anyways, at the time of the climate, they see race riots are just a tinder away.
Right.
And
so does this tie into what is it? The Great Migration from the South up to northern cities?
Oh, it may. I'm not sure that Great Migration, what the time year frame.
That was before that, wasn't it?
That's what I thought it was before.
Yeah, well, but then
1800s,
right?
Yeah, late 1800s, but it would have taken them time to establish, communities and stuff like that.
I get you, yeah.
Oh, that their community was apart after.
Or you think Tulsa's far enough north, though? I mean,
that's true.
There are some people though who even consider, and part of the thing with Tulsa, sometimes these. This commission was saying sometimes they don't think that Tulsa was South enough to have that kind of violence, but it's like, nope, that's how racist and Jim Crow laws were then. And so it ended up essentially being whitewashed from history up until the 70s, I believe. Someone at Tulsa University did a full master thesis on it. It didn't really get around outside of just the university circle there. But then it was that night, it's like people knew about it, and they finally decided, like, we got to do some interviews with these survivors who are still, while they're still alive. So in the 90s and early 2000s, they got a lot of testimony from old people who were alive when that happened.
Well, that's crazy that they're just, I mean, this was such a big event.
And it's like you don't read about it in history. And that's the thing too, is that it wasn't in any of the textbooks. And then a lot of the teachers were just like, well, I'm not comfortable teaching this because they didn't really know anything about it. And it does make Tulsa look really fucking bad.
Yeah. You ever been to Tulsa? It's shit. Doesn't matter.
So there was also, at the time, there was a heavy KKK presence. So there's probably about 3,200 active members at the time. In the city's population is about 72,000. So anyways, that it ended up being whitewashed, and now you'll see there's some recent articles where they're finally getting the money to do some of these investigations. They're looking for the mass graves, because a lot of these black men were buried without any marking, and there are rumors of mass graves because there also were some photographs. I don't know if Oracle brought up some of the old.
Yeah, I've been showing some photographs.
Of dead black men on the back of trucks, like stacked up like wood. And I know in this one cemetery where they did some radar searching, deep radar searching, they didn't really seem to find any evidence there yet. But yeah, it's kind of one of those things like, holy shit, like, why is this not talked about at all, really? And a lot of it is because there were many people who by the 70s and 80s had no idea. They weren't old enough to remember, and nobody was talking about it for that long.
So you said it makes you wonder how why nobody was talking about this. It makes me wonder how many times this shit happened and we really didn't find out about it yet. So
yeah, that's true. So
right, especially prior to this, prior to photography and stuff.
Right. Yeah. So actually, this is directly tied to the Great Migration. So the Great Migration was a result of World War One. I thought it was more of a result of Reconstruction, but actually during World War One, because of industrialized urban areas in the north not having enough labor, black migrants moved into those areas. And that's why you had the Red Summer of 1919. And shit was Tinder.
They didn't like the black folks coming.
Right.
I get you.
Yeah, and imagine
they were northern.
They were,
you
and
can
they
have rights, but not in my yard.
Right, and these people that went off to World War One, these white men that went off to World War One, they come back. Guess who's in your fucking backyard now?
Oh yeah.
Shit. So yeah, interesting. This is all new to me.
Right?
Yeah. Well,
it is kind of disturbing that it's not taught.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in due part, you have to recognize too that there was no real concise report until 2001, when that commission went through and they found some of the old photos, and that's also when they discovered that this one article that was kind of like this. It was a newspaper that was known to be sensationalist at the time, and it wrote. Apparently, there was an op-ed written that the crowd was going to lynch him that night, in the newspaper. It basically an op-ed saying, "Yep, we're going to have a lynching tonight," and that was part of the records that even when the commission went back to try to pull concise history, that had been actually ripped out of the microfilm and destroyed.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
God damn.
So they try to hide. That's how much they try to hide that shit.
So
and why? Like, what? This happened?
Now, do you think that in trying to hide this, do you think it is motivated by people in, let's just say, Tulsa, Oklahoma government, because they are embarrassed and they don't want that to come up? Or do you think that it's elements?
It's actually local and state wide efforts to kind of they muddied the statistics,
right?
And because they show in this commission where they find like some of these different headlines that were coming from the newspapers like the day after, and they'd have these like 175 killed, many wounded, and then like the next day it'd be like 35,
right,
dead. Like,
that's crazy how much the record
because
was
the sheriffs
manipulated.
or whatever, would tell the newspaper, nope, this is actually the real number now.
Right. That's freaking wild.
And governments have been, do that all the time. That's the thing. Like, that's like they don't want to be known as the city where that happened.
Yeah, you don't want to be known as that. But I wondered, were there elements of like the KKK in the government?
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely were.
Yeah.
The KKK was there, and the KKK was a lot of them were they were in their full robes and hoods during the riot. Because, and that was also why a lot of them couldn't be identified in some of these hearings they did, because no one's ever ended up being charged. After there were like 80-some indictments, but ended up ultimately no one ever getting charged for this riot.
Jeez. You guys ever watch Mindhunter?
I've seen an episode.
On Netflix. So this last season was about that child killer in Atlanta. I was too young to remember it, but it happened in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. But it was a black guy who was killing black children. And the Atlanta government basically they weren't covering it up, but they weren't saying that they thought it was a black dude, because like the optics of having a black serial killer in a fucking predominantly black city was like still seen to this day. Like the dude that they think did it has never been charged for it. He was charged for 2 adult murders, but they think he killed like 27 kids.
Wow.
And he was never charged for it.
Huh.
Because the government didn't want to be known as the city with the black, child killer.
In the 80s?
Yeah,
wow.
In the 80s. Like the FBI, was even, they were helping with the profiling and shit. They were fucking appalled, We have,
but they basically just didn't report it much.
Yeah, and they had evidence linking this dude to like 9 of the 27, like directly linking him with DNA. Not DNA, they didn't really have it then, but like fibers off his shirt and shit.
Yeah, that's really messed up. I think most or more so for the families, because they don't get the closure.
Right.
They're just kind of they're hanging out there. There's a podcast called The Clearing, which was really popular this year. And it was actually about this guy, Ed Edwards, who kind of conspiracy theorists, or these people that really get into murder fucking shit, like making a murder type stuff, said that he was responsible for basically like all of these unsolved murders throughout the United States.
Edwards was?
Yeah, Ed Edwards was. Like, he was this super freaking, like the uber serial killer that you had never heard of. And it's fascinating because the podcast is following his daughter, who eventually turned him in. And she's trying to find closure for families and trying to uncover whether he actually did murders or not. And sometimes
is he in prison right now?
He's dead now.
Oh, this isn't the dude that the FBI just came out and said was the most prolific serial killer.
Oh no, that's a new one.
Maybe there's a new one, but yeah,
the black guy, yeah. Who?
Okay, my son's on vacation away from me. Let's stop talking about
hundreds.
What? They say he's up to 90s. Yeah, something.
What the fuck?
he's just been in the news the last couple months because I think they got him on a couple murders with DNA evidence, but he finally, some Texas Ranger, I guess, got him to talk, and he got him a deal of like getting him into a better prison in Texas than the one he was in. And he started giving up. He's actually doing drawings of these women.
Samuel Little, that's it.
Dude. He's got like little colored drawings he's been doing of these women, and he's got a photographic memory, they say, because he's giving all these details that like you would assume you'd forget after 95 dead hookers.
Right.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Does it all look the same?
That's crazy.
Yeah, but they think he is now the most prolific.
Holy shit.
See why they say not some crazy white dude will try to beat his record.
Yeah, right. Just to prove.
I mean, shit. Oh, he's the most prolific. I'm at 63, motherfucker. Let's go.
Well, the thing is, we may never know the most prolific serial killer.
Well, that's the thing. These are only the guys that got caught.
They got caught. Yeah.
But look at all those drawings he's doing.
But I guess
that's a pretty good strikeout rate, though. You only got caught for 2 of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're hitting fucking, you're hitting 900.
Yeah,
980.
Right. But I guess in that clearing, it's really fascinating because they kind of go into the families that didn't have the closure, and it fucking destroyed people. They died.
Sure.
It fucking broke them down.
Oh, when they found do they have interviews with these families when they're finding out about it?
With the families, and they're saying, talking about like, because the children would go missing or whatever, and the father would and the mother would just fucking break down mentally over the years.
Well, yeah, you would resent if something happened to one of my kids,
and you had no idea
I'd resent. I wouldn't be able to fucking look at my wife without thinking about him.
Yeah, and it's
disturbing to think that way. But
they just disappeared.
Not talk about this anymore.
You're all right.
All right.
Yeah, my son's in Iowa right now.
It's easy for us.
Right.
Yeah, makes me wish I would have put a fucking chip in his neck. Come here. Look.
Well, that was a good topic.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It was a very good topic. I was actually thinking that for Black History Month, you fucker. Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Right. All right, we're moving on to what's sexy. Teddy, Tyler Perry Studios.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to look this shit up. Tyler Perry has a studio. He got, I read it. I forgot to look up the article. I know about it, but he's got a studio. He made a studio in Atlanta. It's bigger than like it's bigger than like Disney, Paramount, and like something else combined.
Really?
His studios, yeah. And the thing about it,
studio in the nation.
Really?
In the nation, yep.
Damn, dude.
And it used to be like a Confederate. The thing about it used to be like a Confederate fort or base or something. And the quote that he said was that this used to be a Confederate base, and here they had Confederates plotting to keep 3.5 million Negroes in chains, and now the land is owned by a Negro. So that was kind of spicy.
That's cool.
Was he wearing a dress when he said it?
Probably. Probably. I mean, the thing is, I didn't know the nigga had. I didn't know Medea and shit. I didn't know niggas had
the Medea movies made that much money.
He's got so much money.
He's got so much money.
Oh, really?
Tyler Perry produces so many things.
Yeah, he's got TV shows.
Worker.
He's got fucking.
BET is like.
It's a shit. And my thing is like, you're talking about Black Wall Street, and black people have so much money. And if we had a self-sustaining community like that, it would. I mean, like you have little Italy, little fucking Tokyo, little China, little and communities of, but we don't have a little Africa or a little Nigeria or a little ghetto. I mean, it's nothing self-sustaining. And I'm like, I didn't know this nigga had that much money. I was really happy for him. Sure. I mean, and if he, you want to cross-dress for Christ, you know what I'm saying?
will.i.am started doing that. He started a car company, and it's built in fucking Compton. He's like employing fucking people from where he grew up.
He makes cars.
Huh, that's badass.
Yeah,
cars.
It's like a fucking sports car. Yeah.
Crazy.
Huh.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess I'm just trying to bring up some of they've got it I've got it on the feed now. Man, that looks like the fucking White House.
Tyler Perry's studio?
Or was that the White
House? Oh, damn, that's big.
About it and shit.
Yeah, holy shit. That's fucking wild, dude.
But yeah, I mean, this nigga finna be making movies, bro.
Hell yeah.
Like, you want to make a movie, come see Tyler Perry. He got a fucking studio build, sound stages.
What's that Jay-Z lyric? What's better than one billionaire? Two, as long as they're the same hue as you. Talking about Beyonce and him. Like, that's a lot of money. Two people right there.
A lot of money. Two people right there. Yeah, I mean, it's. And he,
like they could do. You know how much they could do for communities that they grew up. You know what I mean? Like
if they did shit like that,
instead of buying fucking Ferraris and shit, reinvest it.
Reinvest in it. And he was talking about how like he doesn't feel like Hollywood gets him because like the reason he's made so much money is because he grew up like most of pretty much all of his movies are for black people, and he grew up around black people. Like Hollywood doesn't get black people, so that's why he did it. And there's a lot of black movies that aren't being made that are great and everything else. So he's like, yeah.
Yeah, well, I say that's the thing. I think it's really take all the white leverage out of the game.
Out of the game. I mean, I've got studios bigger than all these 3-5 motherfuckers combined.
Yeah, and I feel like Hollywood is really kind of going through a crisis right now. You see a lot of the credits and stuff for shows and movies. They're being made in fucking like Atlanta and shit.
Canada's a big one,
right? Because it doesn't pay to fucking do it in Hollywood anymore.
Well,
and there's states like Georgia. Yeah, it gives huge tax breaks.
Huh. Yeah, that's pretty badass.
All right. Moving on to...
Bless you.
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
She didn't say God bless you.
Oracle, what's sexy? Make me bleed.
Make me bleed.
Sounds like one of your weird...
God damn it.
Biscuits.
Jizz
bagels or whatever.
Jizz biscuits.
I went to the dentist today for a cleaning, and I'm not like, I still have my fucking teeth, but maybe I don't floss as much as I should. I have a water pick. I use it sometimes. I brush my teeth, but when I go get a cleaning, I fucking bleed. That's just the way it goes. But I have been to cleanings before where they kind of
got them sensitive gums.
They don't get into that shit enough. I want, when you're cleaning my teeth, I want to fucking see blood on your fucking gloves.
That's the whole point.
Exactly. Like that
I don't
lets
floss because you're gonna just do it every 6 months.
Right. Like that makes me
holy shit.
Yeah. No, the thing is, if you floss so regular, you won't bleed.
Floss? Shut up.
Every fucking night with my son.
You do.
Attaboy.
I do. Because if I don't watch him, he'll sit there and bite his toothbrush. I brush my teeth, Daddy. I'm like, no, nigga.
See, I've got an electric toothbrush. You know,
dude, you want to get my floss right now? I'll go get it and show you.
Show us how to floss.
I went to the grocery store today and got a brand new bag downstairs. Some little pick flossers.
I like those pick flossers.
Yeah,
that's what I use.
You got to get the strings out of the thing, push it out.
I know the dentist tells me, no, they're not as effective as the proper.
Yeah,
it's like
you're doing something, motherfucker. So shut up.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like to me, it's like, hey, at least I know you're doing something, and that kind of pain pales to real dental pain. Where you got like you need a root canal.
You've had root canals.
Yeah, root canals and shit.
Yeah, so terrible. How did you get that root canal? Probably from all that flossing.
He sound like. You remember Little Shop of Horrors?
Yeah.
Bill Murray when we went to go see what was the dentist? Dean Martin. Yeah, Steve Martin, and he's fucking. You hurt me, Dad. Yes.
Be a success.
That's what you remind me of. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, it was good though. It was good. I was like, you know what? I feel like you put in a good day's work on my fucking mouth. It might look like
phrasing.
It might look like a murder scene, but I feel nice and clean now. So thank you, dental hygienist.
I paid my deductible.
They do
see some blood.
They do that thing where they see how your gum depth is, like they give you numbers on it.
That's like the first thing that she did.
Yeah. How'd you do in that? Fail?
I don't know. She didn't fucking tell me. She just started cracking jokes about like flossing and shit. It was an open conversation.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people where like I want to get a good approval like report card that I'm taking care of my fucking teeth.
Jesus Christ.
Well, once you start falling apart, you had one chip that scared the shit out of me. We had to get a crown. I don't know about you guys. You just are okay with root canals, but I don't want to get to that.
I'm not okay with root canals.
I've never had a cavity before.
You've never had a cavity?
Damn. I've never had a cavity, bro. I'm 39 years old.
I don't believe you one bit.
You want it, bro? You want to fucking bet? I've never had a cavity.
Let's see it.
Get your dental records. I'll go get my dental records.
Come on. Downstairs in the filing cabinet. Get my goddamn dental records.
Shut up. Let's go. Next.
All right. Moving on to Mystic South Park.
South Park. So, okay. So you guys hear about this whole China shit going on with the Snickers?
Yeah.
So it started with the NBA, the Houston Rockets general manager tweeted out something criticizing the Hong Kong protest, criticizing the government, the Chinese government in the Hong Kong protest. So then he apologized for it because there's like this big backlash for the fucking Hong Kong.
Oh shit, their money. They're taking our money.
Exactly. So, and then they blocked a South Park episode. They've even gone so far as Baidu's Tieba. I don't know what that is. It's China's largest online discussion platform. The threads and sub-threads related to South Park are non-functional. If users manually type in the ULR to what was formerly the South Park thread, a message appears saying that according to the relevant law and regulation, this section is temporarily not open. So you've heard that like Winnie the Pooh, they say that Winnie the Pooh looks like Xi Jinping or whatever.
Oh,
so so South Park's episode was making fun. It was called Banned in China. But it was written like spelled banned, B-A-N-D in China. And it was one of the storylines involves Randy getting caught attempting to sell weed in China and getting sent to a work camp similar to those Beijing has been using in Xinjiang province to hold as many as 1 million Chinese Muslims for political indoctrination.
Mm-hmm.
So they banned it, and then so South Park, in their infinite South Parkisms, tweeted this out. Like the NBA, we welcome the Chinese censors into our homes and into our hearts. The statement reads, "We too love money more than freedom and democracy. Xi doesn't look like Winnie the Pooh at all. Tune into our 300th episode this Wednesday at 10 p.m. Long live the great Communist Party of China. May the autumn sorghum festival be bountiful. We good now, China?" So that aired tonight, and I don't know what happened, but I'm sure South Park, after they banned the last episode, has been up constantly remaking whatever they had, just to fucking rip on China again. It's gonna be good,
dude. This shit is getting out of hand. This is, there was some other shit with there was the Rockets thing. There was like a professional gamer that was fucking banned. Like Blizzard came down on them for making a comment on this shit. Chinese censorship is not a good thing.
Right.
Like, we should not let that dictate our fucking way of life.
No, we shouldn't. But these big businesses get so much money from their investors.
Yeah.
Like, fucking Hollywood too. They're suck the teat of China all the time.
Right. Yeah. Cool. I mean, fucking cheers to these guys. You're right. They're just gonna totally fucking go pedal to the metal.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be fucking epic.
I'm gonna go look for it after this to watch it, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Everybody come back in. We got a full week. Got to redo this shit. We're fucking with China.
Yeah, for that, I guarantee you that's how it went.
Let's go.
I don't care how long. I'll buy as much Coke as we need to stay up.
Yeah, God, I hope they fucking make killer overtime working those shifts. All right, moving on to this article called "Unfit for Office" that was in the Atlantic. Turns out it's actually written by George Conway, the husband of Kellyanne Conway, and it's kind of this great, like a greatest hits of Trumpisms and how they compare with the DSM and a pathological narcissism. And they have it because it's a long form article. They actually have a narrator who reads it like an audiobook.
Yeah, it's fucking long.
Yeah. So, but it's a good listen if you're at work or whatever. Than trying to just scroll and read that whole thing that way. But he's talking about how this one. Let's see here. It says, okay. The psychologist Dan P. McAdams wrote in The Atlantic that to many health professionals, Donald Trump provides the perfect example of such extreme pathological narcissism. One clinical psychologist told Vanity Fair that he considers Trump such a classic pathological narcissist that he is actually archiving video clips of him to use in workshops because there's no better example of the characteristics of the disorder he displays. He says, otherwise, this clinician said he would have to hire actors and write vignettes to like make these examples to share, in his when he's teaching. And so, yeah, he's like, Donald Trump is like a dream come true when you're trying to make like share textbook narcissistic personality disorder. Yeah,
he's Dennis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. If Dennis was 75 years old and the president.
Yep.
Like and that's a show. You know what I mean? That's a created character. That isn't like really him. I mean, this is Trump. That's how narcissistic this fucking Trump really
that's
is.
What I say. Like, he really doesn't have any sort of facade.
Yeah.
And one of the things they were saying was
just all piece of shit all the time.
Yep. When he had so I can't remember her name, but she was that woman who won, I think, might have been last year, the Nobel Peace Prize. She was like an Iraqi woman who was kidnapped by ISIS.
Oh, isn't that the one where
slave.
She said that her family was killed by them like 3 times, and he just kept asking
where are they now?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then after she explained that they were, taken out, raped, and murdered.
Yeah, violently murdered.
And then they said he had a hard time even like kind of looking at her in the eyes. And the only time he really engaged with her was when he started to ask her about how she won the Nobel Peace Prize.
Wow.
Like, how did it work? Did they call, he wanted to know the process of how winning the Nobel Peace Prize worked. Because there's been reports that I think it was the president of Japan, wasn't it, that he was leaning on to be like, put in a word for me so I get the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, check it out. If you're working on something you want to just listen to in the background, it's about an hour and 25 minutes or so. But definitely entertaining.
For an article?
Yeah, this thing is long as fuck.
That's way longer than anything. Is that? I read like a 35-minute one time, and I thought that was crazy.
What is that household like with the Conway household?
Oh yeah, I know.
God, yeah.
They probably barely spend time together anymore.
God, that's got to be so weird,
sex is
man.
Angry and good.
Yeah, I'll bet that sex.
That sex is angry.
Oh, I'm sure. Good. Yeah, like that's how they probably get through their days. They work that stress out in the bedroom. Good for them.
Your boss is an idiot. You're a fat kid.
All right, we're moving on. Moving on to the fuck what you think section, ladies and gentlemen, and we got Mystic Pot Shit. Oh, there should be a colon there.
I thought he took a pot shit. I'm curious.
It just says anyway. Pot shit.
No, okay, so I'm looking through Facebook and I see all these ads all the time. I recently bought a few things to make butter, so like
what'd you buy?
Facebook is just like a cheesecloth, a fucking, a sifter thing, or not sifter, a fucking strainer, a grinder.
What's the cheesecloth
like
for?
That. To squeeze the shit out.
Okay.
I don't want to squeeze it. Just put my hand in like that.
Yeah.
I use a strainer and I use a sprayer and a spatula and just fucking.
Yeah, I mean you could. I just bought cheesecloth. The fucking whatever, man. Don't judge me. Judge me, motherfucker.
You're being judged.
Well, it is Wisconsin. I got cheesecloth all around. Like if I wouldn't find cheesecloth, I'd have to go somewhere special.
Babies are wrapped in cheesecloth when they're born.
So Facebook is going to suggest shit to me, and it's just all this ridiculous pot paraphernalia shit.
Yep.
Like, it's like, hey, here's a kit that you can take with you so you can dab on the go. You know what I mean? What are you, a heroin addict? You got to carry around a fucking man bag looking thing with fucking
with a blowtorch and shit.
And it roll a joint like a man, you fucking
right.
Like, what the fuck? I don't get it.
It's crazy how these kids like, yeah, he found my fucking dab room. Yeah, because you bought a sparkled case that you put under the seat to hide your shit in.
Right. Yeah.
And that's why he fucking found it. You fucking moron. I got a joint. If I see life behind me, I swallow it. I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. It's easily you can get rid of it quickly. Hide it under your nuts. They'll never find that shit unless they bring in the dogs.
Yeah, or like if you give them attitude.
But like, it's just all these. It's like when it started going legal in these states, these companies are just like, let's make some ridiculous shit that we can sell the fucking dumb kids.
Mm-hmm.
Well, these dumb kids are like one of the kids up the street. He has a rig. It's like a little glass pipe like this big. Is like $800 some. Like another one, he's got like $600.
One of those dab rigs. That shit's insane.
Yeah, shit's insanely high.
Is it just because it looks cool?
It's supposed to hit better and do certain shit.
Probably
it's one of those with the multiple weird chain.
No, these are blown glass. I mean, I'm talking about blown glass ones that are fucking.
Yeah.
No, I get that, but it's probably got like an electrical heating element on it, so you don't have to heat it with a torch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a waste of money.
It's such a big waste of money.
You can buy 2 PS5s for that.
I don't need dabs.
The first time I did a dab, I was like, the buddy brought all the shit. I was like, he brought out a blowtorch, like a big blowtorch. I'm like, what? Are we smoking weed, bro? I'm like, you sure this is weed?
Right.
Yeah, when I did it was like, it looked like he was firing up heroin torch or something. Like, what?
Okay, so what is for a non-weed smoker, what the fuck is a dab?
A dab is like extracted like the pure extracted THC in like a wax form.
THC concentrate.
Yeah, concentrate. Yeah, and
so it's stronger when you fucking smoke it.
Hash oil.
Way stronger. And then you heat up either if you got a glass part, it's a little glass thing you heat up.
So
or a metal nail, and then you put the dab on it and
like normal weed, like good shit. You're talking mid 20% THC.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe low 20s. It depends. I mean, that's like pretty fucking good. Dabs are like 90-some%.
Okay. So I would probably die if I fucking
like
some of that.
A little tiny bit. You know?
The first time I hit one, I inhaled. It's not. I thought it was like clear, like a little bitty bong on me. I didn't clear big. I got this, and I coughed like a bitch for 3 hours, and then didn't know where I was, and I'm in my house.
Wow.
And I was like, I can't. I'm like, it is insane.
It is more intense, that's for sure.
Oh,
but
yeah,
come
it is
on,
a
man.
lot more intense.
You need to drive around with that and get high like that. Just roll a joint.
Right? Yeah.
But these kids like that did that to me, and I've been smoking weed for fucking years.
Yeah, no wonder they're all fucking dying from vaping and shit.
I mean, and these little kids, these kids will hit like 3 and 4 in a row, and I'm like, y'all are fucking retarded. You want another one? No, I don't. I just want this one. I'm good. No,
I want to be able to fucking order something at a drive-through.
I'm like, right? Why do you want this? I'm like, I don't
not
get
just stare at the menu and go, huh?
Where am I?
Yeah, these kids get out of control.
The
this shit.
Big Mac has 3 buns.
That's weird. I've never noticed
that. All right. Moving on to me, Ashtray. Trump dumping on the Kurds and letting all those ISIS families out. How long ago was that? Like 6 months ago, we did that Scraps of ISIS or whatever episode.
Yeah, something like that.
About the prisons, tent prisons they have out there. Yeah. So go back in our archive, check it out. It's a big mess already. It's like barely under, this whole region is just barely been under control because of all the fighting and like 11,000 deaths.
Take care of it.
And yeah, so basically Turkey's going to go in there and just, what's that? What about
Kushner ain't got that shit taken care of yet?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Kushner.
Yeah, well, I mean, he basically just left the Kurds there to fucking get slaughtered by the Turkish fucking.
Yep, and because the Turks or the Kurds have to reinforce their positions, they're having to pull a lot of these prison guards or people or soldiers who basically just like watching these tent cities and making sure these crazy fucking ISIS families don't go nuts. They're having to pull away to their front lines, and at any moment, these prisons are just like, oh, look, there's 3 guys like guarding us. Like, they can't stop us all. Charge! They're just gonna fucking run away, and it's gonna become this big. The problem is these crazy terrorists, like the real terrorists with these ridiculous ISIS ideas, they were able to kind of, skirt around from village to village in this region until they finally locked it down with all the fighting the Kurds did for us.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like they had patrols, so it's like you couldn't easily just go from one village to another without coming across some Kurds who are going to stop you and be like, what are you doing? Who are you?
Right.
Which helped stop the ISIS problem. But now it's just it'll fester right back because they're all just going to scurry around like rats, and there's no real police patrol in that region. So fucking dumb.
He's the best. He's the best at defeating ISIS.
I know. All right, Teddy, Tech 69, still a dumbass.
Yeah, so Tekashi 69, who was known as the biggest snitch in the world. I don't advocate keeping silent. If you do some dumb shit in front of me or kill somebody and make me an accessory, I'm not going to jail for your dumbass. All right. But
I'm with you.
I'm not going to jail for your dumbass because you couldn't figure out a way. I'm like, I play Hitman. Figure out a good way to do that shit. But so he's been snitching on everybody for the longest time. His sentencing hearing is coming up. He's supposed to just get out because he cooperated. It was supposed to be on July the 28th, I believe, January 28th. But they moved it to, but his lawyers got it moved to like December 13th or 18th. So there's a possibility he could be out by Christmas. So they offered him, even with all those fucking face tattoos, they offered him what's called witness protection.
Good luck.
And well, here's the thing. They offered witness protection because he snitched on a lot of people. They offered witness protection. He turned it down.
Wow.
Because he wants to continue his rap career. He'll make more. He'll make even more money.
Security.
This guy's gonna fucking die.
But here's the thing, though, right?
Within a week.
What you forget is like all these other rappers are put on trial and stuff. Tupac, Suge Knight's in jail finally. But who else? Snoop Dogg. These guys, they didn't snitch on anybody. They didn't tell anything, and they beat the case. I'm like, so what? You are known as the biggest snitch in history. Who the fuck is gonna work with you or want to buy your shit?
Right.
I never really read into what the story was behind it. What did he do, and why is he in jail now? I remember his face.
He's apparently part of a gang, the some Bloods, whatever. They did a lot of they doing gun running, fucking kidnapping, some other shit they did, and he pretty much just snitched on everybody. Except for the Wu-Tang. The one funny meme I saw was like the judge was like, "Hey, tell me what this Wu-Tang clan is." It's Tekashi 69. I can't, Your Honor. Wu-Tang clan ain't nothing to fuck with. That was the funniest one.
That's fucking funny.
But he snitched on everybody, which is, like I said, I don't advocate not snitching. Like you said,
you see what Snoop Dogg tweeted out?
So other rappers he's been ratting on too.
Oh, no,
not other rappers.
No. Well, he mentioned like Cardi B and some other people being in the gang with him and shit. So yeah, he snitched on a lot of he told a lot of shit. But he's not going to jail.
Snoop Dogg said?
Yeah. What did he say?
He tweeted out a picture of him and Martha Stewart. And he was like, Martha Stewart didn't snitch on nobody when she went to prison. Shit is fucking great.
I mean, right, yeah, and it's something like, yeah, rappers he is right that rappers who get off from a case, they have gone on to like make better and better money. But those are rappers who didn't snitch on anybody.
Yeah.
And the biggest rat, and the biggest rat. Like I'll snitch on a motherfucker in a second. Y'all know
But you don't have a rap career. You got a son.
Oh yeah, I know. No.
Right.
But it was.
I'm just saying
that fucking he's dumbass, and plus he's probably gonna die. So
probably.
Dead. I'm going within a week.
I'm going for when he steps out of court. They're gonna pay some dumb nigga to fucking roll up,
right.
Get arrested, and go to jail for life.
All right. Moving on from Dumb Tech 69 to Oracle email not being hooked up. What's
to
that?
More dumb tech.
Probably in a 69.
My girlfriend comes home tonight and she's like, "Oh yeah, you've been getting those emails about so and so trying to send them through and it not working. They're being kicked back." And I'm like, "Oh, what?" And it's on a domain. It's on a G Suite domain that I have for another website. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Wait a second. So I go back into my thing and I never switched the shit over from when I did remember when I took like the Red Eye report and I put it on a new server and shit? So that was like 2.5 months ago.
So you never switched it back?
Yeah. So I just checked my email before I got on it. I haven't been receiving emails on that for 2.5 months.
Wow.
I didn't know because I have all my shit. It just automatically comes on my phone. It forwards on my phone. Yeah. So I didn't realize that it wasn't coming from that website. So it should be interesting to see what happens when that kicks in. Hopefully I didn't get any, somebody didn't offer me like $1 billion.
Yeah.
Right. You missed out on some inheritance.
Yeah. From Uganda. They're like, I
am a Nigerian princess. I want to send you.
I don't know if you guys have ever had that where something has
I'm going to piss my pants.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just saying, I got to go.
Go.
All right. Yeah. All right. So fuck Oracle's email.
Wait for him to come back. Oh, no.
All right. In all seriousness, go fuck yourself, Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's our show. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be here every Wednesday night or Thursday night, 10 p.m. Central, unless Craig, who's Craig? Fucking Ashtray's a bitch and gets sick again.
Don't use real names.
Join the conversation at theredeyereport.com or facebook.com/redeyereport. You can also twiddle us at, what is it now? Redeye_report.
Yep.
Like us, share us, or fuck us. We're down for whatever, because I'm the Ashtray.
I'm Oracle. Oh.
And I'm Teddy, and Mystic is pissing his pants right now.
Yeah, I am.
Do it.
Go pee, you big meat mountain.
Alive.
Meat mountain.
Yeah, he is. That's okay. Why doesn't he just sneak away? Because he doesn't have a camera on him. So,
really, don't you have a wireless headset? Just taking controls to the fucking bathroom, piss with it muted and fucking
fucking do it with the mic on, man.
Don't do it with the mic on.
Just rip a big old fucking shit while you're at it too. It's my fucking symphony.
All right, we still live?
We are.
We are still live. I'm going to retweet the Red Eye report from. Heard about that shit. You telling me about these pins that catch like 60 at a time or some shit. It's like, I was like, okay.
Dude, it's a big fucking deal.
Apparently it's a bigger problem. I'd never heard of it. Yeah, but these motherfuckers had feral pigs.
Feral motherfucking pigs.
We just impeached one of them tonight.
Yeah. I can't believe how many people don't understand that, he's not getting kicked out yet. Like,
He's not gonna
because
be
he's
kicked out
been
at all.
officially impeached doesn't mean that he's going to be kicked out.
Yeah, but
People are like, oh my God, seriously, you got impeached? I thought it was only the 55th. You're not even paying any fucking attention.
It's not gonna be a fair. Like the Republicans have already said that it's not gonna be a fair trial.
Yeah,
pretty much. Pretty much, it's not gonna be fair. It's not gonna be a fair trial.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
They have all joined the line to suck the cock that is Trump. The mushroom.
How
head.
politicking works, man.
All righty, you ready?
I thought we're live already.
We are fucking live. We doing this? Okay.
Yeah.
On this episode of the Red Eye Report, we're talking about feral pigs. With me is Ashtray, the biggest smut-peddling hog of them all. Just look at him, his fucking pig glory. Next to him is Teddy, our resident feral human. He's been on the run from the testing facility for about 9 years now. We were supposed to keep track of him, but we're lazy as fuck and just ended up adopting him into our crew and playing Xbox. So
that's a goddamn lie because y'all don't play Xbox with me, you bastards. It's a goddamn lie.
Quiet or we're going to turn you in.
It's a dirty fucking lie.
Feral motherfucker.
We also have the king of bacon, Mystic. Let's just say he's looking forward to the pig apocalypse. And finally, there's me, Oracle. Grab your American machine guns and your helicopter pass. We're going hog hunting.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
Hog hunting live.
I feel like I should wear a bright yellow vest and tell everybody I'm with the white people.
It's orange, man. It's orange.
We're good. Whatever, man.
You're not fixing a road.
I'm still gonna get shot.
You're hunting.
Doesn't matter.
All right. So we're talking about feral pigs or feral swine. Now, these
Ashtray, what are you looking at the camera like that for? I swear to God, he said swine, and you were like, you looked into my soul or some shit. You like stared right at me.
I gotta see them reply.
Like with a grin.
I think the gummy's starting to kick in.
Gummies, you stingy bastards.
Hey man, if we could digitally send drugs, we'd all be stoned.
No, you can physically send drugs. You can put them in the mail.
Well, you're right. I'm seeing it now on instant replay, and I do look like I'm staring into your soul, and then I'm caught off guard when you call me on it.
Mail a brother some gummies. Shit, that's all it takes. Go ahead, Mr. Go ahead, Oracle.
All right.
So get the show on the road.
Feral swine are descendants of escaped or released pigs. So they were originally brought to the U.S. in the 1500s by early explorers and settlers as a source of food. So they would come here and they would take these pigs and just release them into the forest. And as they went through, they would just kill them and use that as...
Introduce a species to cull.
No, these are different species than any other hogs. They're just wild, right?
So they're wild, but the thing is the feral pigs actually have mated with domestic pigs, kind of creating this super fucking adaptable super smart kind of ultra hog.
Grow really fast too, because
grow super fast.
What you said is the T-180 of pigs.
Pretty much. just fucking wait until I tell you some of this.
But I don't get it. Shit. But I don't get it because they're the same species, though.
Well, right. I mean, so why is it about?
They're pigs, but like boars are not really the same as the domestic pig.
Right. And the thing is,
different breeds of dogs.
When you take a pig or a hog or one of these things and you put it out into the wild, it adapts to that wild environment very quickly. And not
because they'll eat anything too.
Right. They'll eat anything. And it's not just physically or mentally how they're adapting. It's physically. They will physically change. So one of the things that's going on now is up in Montana and on the Canadian border, they're starting to have these feral hogs, which they thought would only be a problem in southern states where it's warmer and where they were traditionally. They're starting to have problems where these pigs are starting to migrate north. Yes. And withstand fucking colder temperatures because the pigs are breeding so quickly and adapting so quickly. They're actually they're growing more fur. And the pigs, get this, they make fucking pigloos or fucking little
pigloos.
Yeah, they make
it's like a burrow that they dig in the snow.
In the fucking snow to stay warm enough.
That's ingenious.
Oh my god.
Dude, it's fucking insane. So right now they estimate that there are 5 million feral hogs.
5 million
feral hogs in this country. And they are causing billions of dollars. So the official account was $1.5 billion annually. And this Dr. Nolte in the New York Times, who was interviewed for this, he said it's probably closer to 2.5 billion, how much damage they're creating. And some of these things can get massive. A Georgia pig called Hogzilla is believed to have weighed at least
I've heard of that one.
You got a picture of that, motherfucker?
800 pounds.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a picture of that one.
That's
wasn't that one found out to be fake, though? I could have sworn the picture was fake.
Well, what was he on roids?
Well,
no, like nobody actually saw the thing, and they had a picture, and it was fake.
Oh,
yeah, but
Let me Google it. What was this called?
Hogzilla.
Hogzilla.
Yeah, let's see if you can find Hogzilla.
I bet you there's a B movie out there somewhere, starring like an '80s actor that no one's ever heard of since he first did it.
But so these things are pigs, and we can think oh man, fucking farmers. Obviously a big problem for them because like Ashtray said, they fucking eat everything, just tear everything up. They're fucking pissing and shitting in the water supply. They're eating all of these different animals and endangered species. Like they've opened up these pigs and they found fucking sea turtle, it's just sea turtles inside of them.
Wow.
Yeah. Recently, a fucking in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, or I guess this one is back in the 80s, the late 80s. There a fucking F-16 had just landed on the tarmac. And the guy who was flying it, who just landed it, saw this blur. A feral hog ran into the side of the F-16, caused him to veer off. He had to eject out, and the F-16 was destroyed.
He was just still coming down the runway at full speed.
A feral hog did that. $16 million. Gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. I found a link there for Hogzilla. Turns out it was killed by Chris Griffin in Georgia, June 17th, 2004. And a lot of people, originally it was claimed to be 12 feet long and weighed over 1,000 pounds. And a lot of people thought it was a hoax. But I guess National Geographic Channel did a special in 2005 early 2005, they exhumed it and had scientists study it, and they confirmed that it actually weighed about 800 pounds and was between 6.9 and 8.6 feet long.
That is fucking insane.
Yeah, and it was.
But if you kill a pig that bad, I mean, are you really going to let the ribs go to waste?
The ribs? Teddy's worried about the ribs.
I mean, really, what's the point of killing it if you're not going?
If you're going to go through the trouble of,
I'm right. If you're going to go through the trouble of killing. Of killing fucking.
Well, okay. So
why not fucking make some? I want some of them Flintstone.
They might be tougher than domestic pigs.
All right, so
this is wild. This is a hybrid of wild boar and domestic pig.
You say that, Teddy, but
it's a vat of barbecue.
The swine are reservoirs for at least 32 diseases.
Never mind, fuck them ribs.
Including bovine tuberculosis, brucellosis.
But that shit'll burn off at 165. Ain't no thing.
No, you got to cook that shit at like 350 to make it burn off. Them the ribs is
There are reports that people have contracted hepatitis.
Oh, yeah.
From eating it?
No.
Yeah, from eating it.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Listen to this stat here. Hogzilla's tusk measured 19 inches, and the other one measured nearly 28 inches long.
So we were snaggletooth. What are you trying to say?
Okay.
So that'll fucking rip you up.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
dangerous.
so there was the case where that woman was killed recently in Texas a few months ago. But really the bigger concern here, so there's the big agricultural impact and environmental impact of these things just destroying all wildlife around them. But right now, around the world, countries are battling and trying to contain African swine fever.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have these things that are rampaging around this country and they can't control how big these things are, and they get one of these devastating diseases, imagine what kind of a problem that is when you've got 300-pound hogs fucking carrying around some sort of plague that has made the jump to humans.
The one in China has jumped to humans?
It hasn't yet.
Oh, okay. Because I believe it's just the main problem is it's decimated their pork industry.
Right.
So, I mean, it could decimate our pork industry too.
Right.
We should be selling them more pork, but no, we got this fucking trade war.
And so these things can procreate very quickly. I'm trying to find the stat. It's insane.
Yeah. How many piglets can they knock out?
They can knock out
probably 8, 10.
They become.
I don't know. I've seen some video. I never was a hog farmer myself, but man, you see a lot of fucking piglets on those poor
sows. Open up hog season. You just have massive hog hunting parties.
And there are, but that is a problem.
It's not enough to keep up with.
It's not a problem to keep up with them. And the thing is people in areas where the hogs haven't reached yet, because it is like a big hunting thing. In Texas, you can go in a helicopter and fucking shoot pigs out of the helicopter with assault weapons. Like,
let's fucking go.
Right. But people want that in their own states, so they actually transport the pigs into their states so they can set up hunting.
That's just retarded.
That
seems dangerous.
That's very dangerous.
If you have the money to move the pigs to that state, why not just go to pay to go to that state and shoot in that helicopter?
Yeah. So each female is capable of birthing at least 2 litters a year of 6 or more piglets.
Damn. Yeah,
And I think it takes them 9 months to become sexually mature enough.
They have 1.5 litters per year.
That's it?
Yeah, it's insane. It's fucking insane. Like when you think about how quickly these things can actually spread.
So it's like every 9 months, like a human, they just keep popping out fucking piglets.
Right. So I'm gonna just play this popular video. This is of a hunter or a farmer who, there are all these farmers where they have to combat these hordes of pigs at night just to try to stave off, total destruction of their crops during the day. So they're using like NVGs, thermal scopes, using all kinds of weapons and shit. So let me bring this up.
Hey, by the way, there is a B movie called Hogzilla, came out in 2014.
Awesome.
Nice.
Starring a guy whose biggest claim to fame was being a second-tier actor on the movie Casino. I was completely right. Just wanted to throw that.
Well, there's a lot of actors in Casino. What second tier actor was he?
I don't know.
All right.
Nobody remembers any of the second tiers.
He's the guy who got his head put in the vice.
I mean, you just see this endless stream of pigs.
Oh my god! I just see a still frame of hogs fucking right now.
Pigs
fucking in the mud.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Hogs fucking in the. Look at them.
Just fucking.
It was like, look at it. It's a goddamn hog orgy out here. No wonder they reproduce so fast. This is their night vision camera.
Yeah. In a gun, you'll see the
totally
scope.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like a night vision gun.
Right.
Boom. Got him.
Oh, this one's got a crosshair.
Right. What this is nice and fun and everything until you have to do it night after night after night after night.
So this is their farm. They have to go out here and just fucking murk these motherfuckers because
they have to do it in order to protect their crops.
This is where I could totally understand the legal, like actual pragmatic use of suppressor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, put a silencer on that bitch, dude. They wouldn't even know.
Well, it's hard to get a silencer in almost most states. It's like only a few states you can get a license.
Right.
Good shot right there.
Right.
Pretty sure you can get one off Amazon. So this kind of reminds me. Have y'all seen that movie Love, Death, and Robots on?
Yeah.
There's one of the scenes is the farmers on a planet fighting that horde of.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
This brings that to mind.
Right. Yeah. So it's a big problem, and there isn't a good solution at this point. There's
firebomb them,
butter bomb them,
firebomb them.
Oh, firebomb them,
napalm.
Right.
Smelling napalm in the morning, son.
Napalm doesn't affect crops, does it?
No.
And then one thing, I heard one guy, he was proposing poison them. Well, how is that going to be, when other shit eats that? And it turned out like the person, it sounds like a really bad idea. So
it'd be hard to poison them because you'd have to do like almost targeted where, you're setting poison out where they're going to be, but you can't leave poison out on like enough poison on a regular basis. Or you're going to be killing all kinds of them.
Like a deer walks by, they're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, and I mean, these things don't have any natural predators, and actually, they have been known to go after deer, too. They'll fucking eat deer.
They'll fuck the fucking deer up, they catch them.
Right?
Oh, I bet. Especially deer season, there's probably some deer that get lamed up, they get winged by a bullet, but a little too bad where they start to get weak, and they're...
Yeah.
Laying down, a feral hog comes.
Like a zombie movie. You don't have to worry about this.
I mean, it really is. So,
and once the pigs taste blood, it's over.
I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, do we just like have some sort of fucking?
I live in a city, so I don't have to worry about it. But
yeah,
maybe for right now until they fuck up your entire food supply.
Well, it's one of those things too. Like I don't think feral hogs are going to entirely fuck up our food supply because we make such a huge amount of fucking food.
I don't want to go camping anymore, you son of a bitch. I mean, really. Because we go out to some obscure places. I mean, what are the areas that these pigs are in?
What area?
I go camping.
They're all over.
All right. Well, let me bring up a map for you guys. You can kind of see where they're at in this country right now.
The concentration zones.
As of 2018, this is the USDA's map here. So you can see when that comes up how prolific it is in the southern part of our country. But you know damn well somebody brought those pigs up, like the UP. See how there are counties up in the UP where the pigs are? Somebody brought those motherfuckers up there.
Right.
You fucking bastard. They are all over. They're all around me.
Damn, that is a good chunk of the
they're not even.
Right, they're all around me.
You gotta worry about that.
Bastard.
That's cool.
It must be
all over
area.
California. Holy.
Yeah, right.
I bet you that area up in the UP, because that's probably one of those where they have the fucking pig loos.
Mm-hmm.
And but that part of the UP, like even just northern Wisconsin, like there's so much wooded land up there.
Right.
Even if it is owned by someone, that like easily they could just find a niche. They probably have a whole fucking acres of fucking pig city.
Pig city, man.
Pig city.
We built Pig City.
That's what I call it. That's what I call it. That's what I call it. That's what I call Applebee's bar at 2 a.m.
But I mean, looking at that map,
looking at that map, I'm afraid to go outside in the dark now.
There are very few isolated spots on that map where it's just like one county. Like once they get in an area, they fucking lock that shit down.
Is that North Dakota at the very top there?
Is Tennessee the east part of? Is Nashville the east part of Tennessee, Teddy?
Like it's like middle east, whatever. I'm sorry, but middle
they're
east.
surrounding your ass then.
Yeah, I'm pretty much surrounded by.
They're coming for you, dude.
Right? It'd mix with country music. Like
coming for you, Bob.
Guess who's buying a smoker? Teddy.
Like, let's talk firearms for a second. Like, what's taking down an average size feral pig? Would
I'm sure you're using like AR round.
A shotgun.
Skin too thick.
Shotgun.
So, I mean, you're definitely going to need. You're not going to want to hunt them with like a 9mm. You're going to want something more powerful than that.
But a 45 would fucking.
Oh yeah, 45 absolutely would.
Or a slug.
Right now, and actually, this kind of got brought into the conversation a little bit more because a guy I think he was from Alabama, he was there was some sort of gun fucking thing, and he made a comment, well, what am I supposed to do about all the fucking pack of feral hogs that shows up in my yard, occasionally? I need a firearm that can hold X amount of rounds, and I can fucking lay these motherfuckers out. And people were just like, what are you talking about, you insane person? But it's fucking true. Like, it really...
He's kind of got a point, though. Yeah. I mean, if there's 30 of the motherfuckers out there, you don't want to have to reload.
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't know if that feral pig thing is code for school cafeteria in this day and age.
It's not even like fucking coyotes. It's like they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all over the place.
There's like more than a dozen in this area just hanging out, eating fucking shit and fucking like an orgy.
Right. And
so you just want to watch the pig fucking?
No, I don't want to watch the fucking. But like, I was just surprised that there was 3 pigs having sex at the same time in that one video clip that he showed us.
You are just really hung up on that.
Oh, the pig sex. I mean, really, who gives a fuck about the pig sex?
Well, it always reminds me of pigs fucking in the mud.
Fucking in the mud.
Pigs fucking in the mud.
But I really do think that there is I think those guys that are dealing with that shit should be able to get a permit and get whatever the fuck they need. Get assault rifles, get fucking silencers, because it's a big problem, and there are like hordes of these motherfuckers out there. So I don't know. That's where I stand on this. Like I'm
all for it. Man.
Like get a fucking feral pig hunting permit. Make them, demonstrate that that's actually what they're doing, and let them have at it. Because shit, it's a big deal. I don't know.
Somebody got to deal with them.
Right. Somebody's got to deal with it. If you don't do anything about it, they are seriously going to.
It'd be interesting to see
take over the country.
Comparison with like white-tailed deer up here in the Midwest.
Right.
As far as what kind of
but population control for feral pigs is so much more important, because white-tailed deer don't go around eating fucking chihuahuas and shit.
Not only that, but they destroy the environment.
But I guess I was saying, I wonder what the difference is as far as the reproduction rates. Because we never seem to be. It's not like we're ever out hunting the white-tailed deer.
Well, deer they only have one offspring, don't they? I mean, typically.
Yeah, I think 1 or 2, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe 2, but.
Yeah, I mean that's not.
That's
12
true.
years.
Yeah, it's not like 5 or 6 on average.
Pigs,
right?
Yeah,
they're not 300 pounds.
Yeah,
making fucking igloos.
Big dum-dums. Big fucking. I want food.
Pig loos.
That's the problem, though, is they're not dumb. They're smarter than the deer.
I'm just high.
Yeah,
no, I get, but they're not. But I mean, come on. Compared to what? though. I mean, how say are they fucking as smart as a 5-year-old? You know what I mean? Are we?
Well, are they?
I get.
Are they an adversary for us?
Well, it's like they don't have opposable thumbs, thank God.
I mean, a 300-pound 5-year-old is kind of dangerous.
They have tusks.
It doesn't. I mean, really, it doesn't.
I get it. They're super dangerous, but like that's what we have to put them down. Like, there's no negotiating with it. There's no like, hey,
right.
Come on, pig! Stop doing what you're doing. It's gonna bite your fucking leg.
I thought you were saying like, how smart really are they?
You can't put Frozen on repeat.
That's what you're saying too. They're like,
they're smart enough to be way more dangerous than any other animal because other animals are like, fuck, I'm stupid, run away.
Right.
This pig's like, I'll fuck you up.
It's gonna size you up. It's gonna, fucking see what it can do. I think too, another big thing. It's like raccoons. Look at all the measures that are taken to keep raccoons out of fucking trash containers, and they always figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're smart little bastards. You can't
fucking adaptable cunts.
Right. And these things are the same way. So I think it comes down to brute, brute force, brute fucking.
Here's a video you got to share. This is actual 50 cal. Night vision shooting of a boar.
All right, put it in the fucking Facebook.
So right around the 40-second mark is
you put it in there?
Have you just been sitting here for the past fucking 2 minutes watching feral pigs get blown away in night vision?
No, not all the time. I mean,
you moved on from the pig fucking to the pig murdering.
I just thought, like, of course, like, no, as a gun. I don't want to say I'm a gun nut, but I like guns, and it's like, I know there's some motherfuckers out there who decide, you know what we need to do with these feral hogs? 50 cal. And sure enough.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that you need that, but it'll do the trick.
Oh, yeah, it does a trick, all right.
I'm pretty sure it makes it explode. Shit.
So the drone doesn't have the 50 cal on it, does it?
No, but the drone's kind of doing some aerial night vision of it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But oh man, that hog's crocodile.
Well, that guy's got a silencer on.
No, that's not a silencer. That's because it's a 50 cal. Like you got.
Oh.
I highly doubt that's silencing.
Holy shit!
50 cal, but do you see?
Yeah, just saw like a huge chunk.
It's a thing explodes.
It's a 50 cal. I had a chance to shoot one in Atlanta for $50, and the guy I was with like, "You really gonna do that?" I'm like, fuck yeah, it's a Barrett 50 cal. Fuck yeah, I'm shooting.
Yeah, how much? $50?
It was $50 for 5 shots. I still got the shells.
Nice.
I should go grab one. Those fucking things are huge, bro.
$10 a shot.
Yeah, $10 a shot. Yeah, $10 a shot. Yeah.
God, I just saw it.
Did you
Jesus
share it on
Christ?
screen?
Just
what the hell?
splat.
I haven't seen it. That would have been
there.
Oh god damn! Like bullet, you see the bullet go through the pig and hit the ground in the back.
Yeah, right.
That's the fucking part about it.
Yeah, that thing.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
Well.
Yeah, that thing kicks less like a scar that I shoot. It's fucking awesome.
So when we have to sign up for the fucking pig militia in 10 years to take these things on so they don't fucking destroy our country, I told you guys. I told you so.
You'll be on the front lines.
Yeah, wouldn't that be ironic if it's not? It wouldn't be it's not a zombie apocalypse, but it's kind of like a hybrid.
Yeah, right.
Genetically modified hog apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it reminds me actually. Margaret Atwood.
Stop with the pig puns.
Margaret Atwood.
So
she
easy.
had in her book, the Oryx and Crake series. They had these pigoons, which they were genetically modified pigs that we had genetically modified to harvest body parts from. And they were super intelligent, and they went feral, and there was a big fucking disease, and these things were kind of ruling the roost, and you didn't want to fuck around with the pigoons. And that's what this reminds me of. And Margaret Atwood kind of has a tendency to be right on things, so I don't know.
Yeah, she wrote The Handmaid's Tale, wasn't it?
Yep.
Isn't that her?
Yep.
Yeah.
God damn it.
God damn, that's a lot of fucking hogs. I kept watching this video. There's literally like 3 dozen
hogs.
3 dozen just walking through this field.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be so frustrating as a farmer, as a hunter. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to shoot this thing with a 50 cal. Yeah, I'm going to have a good time. That's the thing.
You're lucky if you take out 2, maybe 3 before they all scatter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when you're dealing with that many, Jesus.
So there you have it. Feral pigs.
Travis said a 338 Lapau. What the fuck is that? That's a rifle, I assume.
I guess.
I don't know. He can tell us.
Tell us.
Assuming 338 is the caliber size.
Yeah. All right, we're moving on to the what's sexy.
Moving on.
Definitely not pigs fucking in the mud. Ashtray says gymnastics, open gym, back in session.
Yeah, my gymnastics gym where the classes got canceled because the fucking insurance company decided we're no longer going to insure adults.
Wait, you do gymnastics?
Yes, I've been doing gymnastics for years.
Oh man, that was great.
Because I want to see a tape of you doing a backflip or something, Rob. I just don't picture you putting your beard down and say, "Watch this."
Wait, that is the best fucking response I've ever. It's just this. Wait. Gymnastics?
Yeah. What do you do in gymnastics?
What I do in gymnastics? I work on my handstands. I mean, that's really why I started taking them. Yeah, I can do handstands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, handstands are hard to do. In capoeira, they wanted you to be as comfortable on your hands as your feet.
Handstands, like it took me. I mean, I've been going for over 4 years, and I just starting to get like it's more mental even than it is strength, and posture. But then the insurer, like their new insurer, this gym has been around since the 70s, and they're the only ones in the entire Dane County area that offer an adult class. And then the new insurance underwriter was like, "Oh no, we're not going to insure adults."
What the fuck?
Which is stupid because you can sign a waiver and ski down a hill and run into a tree and die, but why can't I just sign a waiver so I can tumble on this padded floor?
Yeah, it's not like you're doing anything that intense.
I can roll around like a big dumb adult, and
40-year-old man did not need to be doing handstands and shit. You can bust a knee up.
So
bust a knee doing a handstand.
Anyways, we in the summer semester we kind of had like our class all just like some of my classmates have been going for 8-9 years, and so we haven't had class until recently. We just got an update like 2 weeks ago that they've got a new insurance provider, and now like they're Wanakee gym, which I've never been to, but they now have the adult open gym with me. So got to go with like 3 of my other former classmates and do gymnastics and stuff, which was great because like I can't do handstands in my apartment. And it's a really nice newer gym too.
Against the rules or what?
Well, no, I'll hit the fucking fluorescent bulb in my ceiling. Like,
is it that low, or are you living in the basement? What is?
Yeah, like I can touch in my kitchen, anyways. I can touch the.
But yeah, just find a wall and do it against a wall and like walk off the wall and try to hold it.
Just go outside and do it, dude. Neighbors won't care.
Well, in the summertime, yeah, I've done that a little bit in my driveway. I look weird, but I just put music and.
Mommy, the man next door is doing handstands.
This is the thing why people are like think because I don't put like I'm not bragging about it on fucking Facebook, so people are like, "What? You do gymnastics?"
No, you're bragging about it on the show.
Yeah, I'm bragging about it right now. The thing is, though, what was weird is they're like kind of busy, and there are all these fucking like young guys. Where it's like they look like they're just out of high school, if that, because it's like you motherfuckers can't even be like 20 yet. But they were there for the adult open gym, and they were like parkour. They were like parkour kids. They're all doing these
fucking
crazy flips and shit and
flexibility shit though,
right?
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Like they were really fucking good at what they were doing.
So this is what aging hipsters bitch about, huh?
Oh yeah,
gymnastics kids.
And the thing is,
the parkour kids, man.
Oh yeah, bitching about the parkour kids because me and my
back in my day, we just tumbled on a mat.
Me and my friends are all in our 30s, and we're like, boy, I can barely do a bridge. Oh fuck, it hurts, bitching about our bodies and whatnot. And then the fucking parkour kids, like, they're kind of in one section of the gym, and all of a sudden, they're kind of horsing around, like, play fighting. And then, like, literally, there's, I shit you not, there's at least like 8 to 10 of them. And they all look like they're maybe 18, 19 years old. And 5 of them just they take their tank tops off, and they're like, oh yeah, like fucking around. And it's just like, Jesus Christ. Like, I tell my friend, I'm like, man, there's just too many inappropriate jokes I could say right now about that. And she's like, whoa, what do you mean? And I was just like, no, I just was in my mind. I'm like, man, that's some Teenage Mutant Homo Ninja shit right there. Like, who's like horsing around and
Get
stuff
a bro
with their
job,
fucking
man.
ripped bodies, and they're all like 18-year-old boys, like Teenage Mutant
Heroes in a half shell.
All right.
Homo.
Well, thanks for sharing your gay gymnastic porno fantasy.
This is how bad it was. Is that actually at one point? This is how bad Homo Ninja got. Is that
Homo
at one point they're horsing around, and like 2 guys, they're all got the shirts off, and they're chasing around another guy, and he's like, like running away, and he jumps over this divider and stuff. In this fucking, like, dude, the big old adult coach has to come out, and he's like, hey, this is the adult class, there's no horsing around. Like,
Jesus.
he had to scold them, and as kids are like, it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, like, what are we at the pool, like
their first day in high school?
Oh my God.
Kids school.
That's what I was like, that is some
How
serious.
dare you, junior high?
See, that's the thing. That's the problem with kids not just being blackout drunk all the time these days. Because
they run around,
they're trying to apply themselves and doing fucking shit like adult gymnastics.
Hey guys, let's have some kale and go do gymnastics.
Right.
Yeah.
Just let the burnouts.
Back in the day, me and Oracle were fucking. By now, we'd have a fucking case down.
Right.
Snorted fucking 14 Adderalls and smoked some weed.
Just let the burnouts fucking go to their fucking.
Me and my classmate were both just joking about how, because this is it's later in the night, it's 8 to 9:15. It's like, yeah, we both had 3 beers in us before we went to class. It's like,
who drinks and they go to do handstands? What is wrong?
Adults.
Oh man, this is great.
Not a smart adult. You don't go to that class to do handstands.
Oh man, I feel like
when you can do handstands and you've had 3 beers in you, that's when you know you're good.
This is like a Seinfeld episode,
right?
Right? Like I'm Kramer.
I don't like doing handstands after I drink Gatorade. You had 3 beers in it. He's like, "Yep, here we go."
Oh man. All right, Mystic. What's sexy?
The Expanse.
The what?
The Expanse is a show
that's sci-fi show.
Yes,
Prime show.
Well, it started out on Sci-Fi, but now Amazon Prime, I think, bought it out or something. I think Sci-Fi canceled it, and you could tell because this season has gotten a lot better. They have the money to make it fucking look good.
Yeah,
and it just seems it's just a better show. Like the writing is better.
What season is this now that it's on Amazon?
4. It's on season 4.
So it's 1 through 3 on Sci-Fi.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Pretty sure. But it's based on a series of books by actually 2 authors. They write under a name called James S.A. Corey. So it's like their names combined. It's a series of books that take part in the universe of The Expanse. And it's basically about this alien technology that creates portals to different parts of the universe. Kind of like Stargate type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But set in a much more believable, like, futuristic universe. So, like, in this world, basically, or we fucked the Earth up so bad that we sent colonies to Mars years and years and years ago, hundreds of years ago. And now Mars has basically seceded from the U.S. They have different technology than we do. And there's a third faction called the Belters, who lived even further out than Mars. They lived in the belt outside mined shit for Earth. And now they're rising up and they want to be fucking known as a power too. So like these three factions are kind of fighting each other.
Mm-hmm.
And this alien technology emerges and they kind of all have to like work together to like fucking.
So now the alien technology, is the alien technology a threat, or are they
they don't really know. That's the problem. Like it's very kind of mysterious at this point.
So is it now, I guess, is there an alien race attacking them, or it's just kind of like this alien ship showed up?
So far they know the rings, these rings have shown up that are the portals, and all they know is that this ancient civilization built them but then got destroyed by something. They don't know what destroyed the ancient civilization, so they're trying to figure that shit out.
Which could very well be a better civilization when they open the fucking portal.
But like the technology they have is super fucking
cool. That's why I don't open portals.
Like so yeah. There's like Martian Marines. They have these technologically advanced suits that nobody can fuck with, basically. They're like the biggest fucking powerhouse in the universe. Just cool shit.
So could a person just drop in on season 4 and be able to not watch the other ones and be okay?
No,
probably not.
You don't understand the factions.
Actually,
but like,
you know
I guess
what?
Seasons 1 through 3, are they still pretty good, even though they're sci-fi?
They are really good. Yes, they are really good. It's just when they get to like the effects, you can tell it's a sci-fi show.
Yeah.
Right.
As opposed to Amazon, and you could tell Amazon put some fucking money in it. And actually, now that you say that, there's a really good thing. It's like 10 minutes long. If you go on Amazon and you go to season 4 of The Expanse, it's the first thing on there. It's Kevin Smith explains The Expanse. And he takes you through each season and explains it for like 10 minutes. And it gives you a really good idea of like what happened up to this point. So,
so you could watch that before.
Yeah. So if you didn't want to watch the first 3 seasons, this kind of like gets you up to speed, and then it jumps you into fucking what they're doing.
Okay. But you have watched all 3 already.
Yeah, I've seen all 3.
It's worth the watch. They're good enough.
This comes on Sci-Fi.
Worth watching the Kevin Smith explains
it's on
it,
Amazon
and then
Prime
and then watching the first couple of episodes of The Expanse. I think you'd get into it once you had an idea what was going on.
Cool. All right, next up we have Safe Stations. I recently found out that
are these phones with a blue light on top?
It's not that. So I don't know how widespread this is, but in the city that I work in Woonsocket, Rhode Island, they have a thing where you can walk into any fire station in the city, and if you are having some sort of mental crisis, or if you have like a drug addiction problem and you're looking for help, they have people there to help you out, and they're not going to just arrest your ass. They're going to fucking try to actually help you. And I think that is such a more constructive way of fucking tackling this problem with, fentanyl and all this bullshit that's going on out there. Because the numbers for fentanyl deaths are like, it's insane. It's like 95% of opioid fucking overdoses or some shit. Everything's getting cut with it. And I think the only way to tackle this is just not, fucking persecute people and make them afraid to get help, where they can walk in and actually, get help without worrying about being thrown into jail and fucking their lives up, fucking their family up, whatever. So they have people actually on call in these stations. They run shifts, and they're, professionals to deal with the situation. So I just heard about that today, and I thought that was a really good and constructive way of doing this.
Have you heard of the term reverse opium war?
No.
It's basically the theory is like because while this fentanyl is coming in, I mean it's coming in through Mexico and Canada as well, and also just through the mail.
Mm-hmm.
But it is all being produced in China, and the Chinese government they'll like tell our ambassadors and stuff, and they're like, "Sure, see here, we've shut this factory down, we shut that factory down."
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll pay lip service to the fight of the fentanyl producers.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, in China, trying to make up for their 100 years of shame, they see it as a reverse opium war, where it's like we're just going to continue to let this. It's like super, opium, that's killing us, and they're just not really fighting it on a governmental level. That's
a good point.
Interesting concept.
Well, in that case, they should send it over to the Brits.
Well, to the Brits for sure, but it's like they see it more as in like just taking down the U.S. as far as the West is in whole. I'm sure. I'm sure there's fentanyl in London too.
Yeah,
but it's an interesting concept to think about.
Yeah, and I do think that policies and stuff like that, it is starting to shift, and the public perception of the drug war is beginning to shift in this country. So we'll see what happens. But putting stuff like this together, the amount of money that you're spending to have those people on call is a drop in the bucket compared to all the medical fucking shit, all of the staff and everything that comes with
the ER and ambulance calls.
Right. So work
people
smarter, not harder. Next up, we have Teddy Frisky Dingo.
Frisky Dingo.
Okay, I've talked about this show before. It's coming up again because it's come up on my Hulu watch list. It just popped up, so I started watching it, and I ended up watching season 1 and 2. This show is fucking awesome. It's the people. It's done by the people who did Archer. The Pam, the voice of Pam's in it. It's a cool little. But it used to come on Adult Swim. You can watch it on Hulu or AdultSwim.com if you have the internet for free. It is a funny fucking show. Tons of one-liners. It's just so goddamn awesome.
So which one?
Give it a try.
Do you think this one is better than Archer?
I do think that Archer is better. This one got kind of weird and weak at the end of season 2.
Similar style animation, everything.
Oh yeah, very very similar. It's very a similar style animation, and a lot of the jokes from Archer came from the show. Like a lot of the first jokes from season 1 and 2.
Have you guys ever seen Archer?
Yeah,
I've seen
Archer,
some of Archer, but I haven't watched it.
Do you know the character Ray, the gay spy?
No.
No,
he's the one that created Archer. He also created Frisky Dingo.
Okay.
He's like the main writer too.
So did Frisky Dingo that predated Archer?
Yeah, it was before.
Yes, it did. Yeah, before.
So that's kind of like the proto Archer. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the jokes are about the same. The voice acting and the acting in Archer is better, I think. Like it's just the story.
It is.
Better.
It is. Because it is a little. They kind of go all over the place in Frisky Dingo, but it's the episodes are only 11 minutes. It's pretty. It's for what they did with it. I think it's pretty fucking awesome.
Right.
It's a good show.
All right.
Check
next
it out.
up, we have migraines. That's me. Fucking Mr. Migraine.
You are a migraine.
You are a fucking migraine.
So,
bro.
For whatever reason, around this time of the year, I will start to get migraines.
Is it because you hate Christmas?
It might be. Fuck? It might be that Christmas music actually triggers migraines. And
I mean, yeah. Why do they play the same songs from 1950? It's like nobody else did Christmas music ever. What the fuck?
So well, first off, do you guys fucking have experience with migraines? Do you get migraines? Or have had migraines?
I think I've had one in my whole life. I think
I've had only a few, but my younger sister had a serious migraine problem ever since she was a little kid, And I think it ended up really being related to that like TMJ problem.
What's a TMJ?
It's some sort of like weird tension with your jaw.
Lock jaw kind of.
Yeah. She had to go she had special therapy. It's not really braces.
Chick in Marshfield that had that.
Yeah.
It really apparently is like really helped.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That might be helpful for me because I feel like my teeth fucking hurt sometimes.
Yeah. It might be that.
Okay.
TMJ.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy though. Your vision gets like super tunnel vision. It's kind of like somebody flashed you in the face with a camera.
Too much junk.
And then you're just, oh fuck, your brain's all fucked up. It hurts. You feel nauseous.
Well, yeah, like with bright lights.
Bright lights are terrible.
Nausea, yeah, and it's like you're incapacitated.
Right. You're pretty much fucked up. Although I was
a gremlin?
Possibly. I need to be fed after midnight. So I was proud of myself because I had one of these yesterday where I started my day. All of a sudden I'm like, I'm like before class, I'm just like, oh, son of a bitch, here we go. All right, so I just start pounding water, fucking ibuprofen and fucking Tylenol. And I was able to weather it and not be like a total full-blown retard. I could actually, still run the class.
Yeah.
So that was good. That was a victory because normally, I just get totally incapacitated. I can't do fucking shit.
When's the last time you had one before this one?
Like 3 weeks ago.
That's frequent enough. Yeah, because my sister, her frequency was like she'd get one or two a month.
Yeah, and it fucking blows. So I might have to look into this TMJ thing.
You use Excedrin migraine at all?
I can't use Excedrin. I tried using that, but it makes me like all sweaty and weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude.
Because of the caffeine in it, maybe?
I have no idea.
Well, all it is caffeine, ibuprofen, and aspirin.
Well, Excedrins usually take headaches that's this big and make them that big. So.
Thanks, Daddy. I did get some blue light.
That's the scientific explanation.
Right.
Dude, that's remember those commercials? I had a headache.
Yes. No, I don't remember.
I brought to you by marijuana.
God, hey, bro. Hey. I do get high off my own supply.
So I did buy some fucking blue light glasses because I realized that I look at the computer screens all the time. So I thought maybe that might be not helping the situation. But yeah, I'll look into this fucking tooth thing. Maybe I got to stop sucking so much dick. We'll see.
That's a good way to start.
Yeah. I create a lot of tension right up in there in the old jaw muscles.
And go with that.
All right, next up we have Ashtray with marijuana shame for a murdered college.
For a murdered college. Oh, should I say college student?
Oh.
This is that you probably heard about this fucking girl in New York, Tessa Majors. She's going to Barnard College, fucking swank. Or I'm not sure if it's swank, but anyway, expensive college in Manhattan. And she looks just like my ex-wife when I first met her. Except for she must be way cooler because she's like plays in a band and whatnot. And apparently, anyways, my fuck what you think is like not just that she got murdered, because apparently that she the suspect they've arrested is a 13-year-old. Yep.
What?
And apparently the second suspect who was supposed to show up to turn himself in, like hopped out of a car and took off, and he's on the run right now, and he's 14.
What?
So did he drive himself away, or did his mom take him? I mean, what the?
No, it sounds like at an intersection or something. He just opened the door and bailed. I have no idea. the one 13-year-old who's already been arrested, is, of course, his family's saying, oh, he's got no record. Blah, blah. It's like, well, yeah, he's 13, like that's when you start maybe making a record if you're, robbing people. Apparently, from his testimony, him and friends were like, let's go rob people in the park.
Wow, man.
And yeah, so she got.
Are they both white?
13?
Are they both white?
The teenagers?
Yeah.
No, I think they're two black kids, I think.
Goddamn stupid niggas.
Obviously, they're not white, Teddy.
Yeah. I mean, in Manhattan, if you're knifing people in the park at 13, are you white? Probably not.
But when you think Manhattan, you think upper class. That was a good one, though.
You said that with enough conviction that I believe you.
That was good.
Yeah, I realized my
what time was she in the fucking park?
It was the thing is this park borders the Barnard campus. Like, it's right next to the university. But let's see if it says when.
God damn.
She was nice, but it was at night, I think.
13-year-old kids.
Yeah. And
should be out getting drunk.
Well, the thing is, she wouldn't give up. They put her in like a headlock or something, and she wouldn't give over any money. And so they stabbed her. And the 13-year-old, who they do have under custody, has testified that he saw, like, he wasn't the one who stabbed her, but apparently the other kid who did, like, he testified that he could see the feathers, the down feathers coming out of her winter coat. Like, boy, if that doesn't make a good fucking headline.
Fallen angel.
My fuck what you think is really rooted in the fact that the family had to publicly come out and chastise let's see here. It was the president of one of the local police unions, Ed Mullins, basically got on a radio talk show. So he's not a detective. He's not even like working the case. Granted, he has inside contacts to get more information than the average person, but he basically on a radio show said, well, what we have here is an 18-year-old college student who's at one of the most prestigious universities in the country. He's like, murdered in the park. And from what I'm understanding, she was in there to buy marijuana. It's like, really? Like, you telling me a rich white girl at a prestigious university is going to a dark park to buy marijuana? No.
Maybe.
That's pretty weird.
I've seen people leave clubs with strangers they don't know to get in the cars to buy X from people.
Wait a second.
Sure,
Isn't weed
like,
legal in fucking New York?
Marijuana's a hell of a drug.
Marijuana at or in the university level of a rich university, there's people like.
Yeah, I thought marijuana was legal in New York.
Marijuana's legal in fucking New York.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was legal.
Well, then that's even more of a
right. That's a
outrageous...
fucking dumb fucking story.
Well, yeah, the thing is the family had to...
It's legal in New York? I didn't know it was legal in New York.
Maybe medical is, but I don't know if recreational is.
Yeah, let's go to Google.
Though, if medical is legal in that state, damn well a rich white college student doesn't have to go sit in the fucking dark park.
She could have gotten in from anyone in her dorm.
Exactly. My point being. And, like, so these motherfuckers are like, oh, because she plays in a band. It's like, oh, she's on there to buy marijuana. You're not even one of the investigators. Like, the family had to publicly make a statement saying that, like, this is we're heeding the advice of the investigators that we shouldn't make any public comments until the investigation is finished, and so should you dumb motherfucker,
cunt,
fucking dumb. Ed Mullins.
It's not
Sergeant Benevolent.
Not legal.
It's not legal. It's decriminalized.
Yeah.
Okay.
But a rich white girl in university,
which means that's even more evidence that they would have it in their dorm rooms because mean they're rich fucking
right. Everybody's gonna have that shit.
Right.
At a rich college, exactly.
All right.
So okay.
Now she might have been there buying cocaine.
Yeah, I was like, maybe she's going for cocaine or
you always go to the 13-year-old black kids for your cocaine.
Right. Hey. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Got some of that white baby?
some little kid in a playground or something.
Swinging on the jungle gym. Fucking
13 is not that old.
No, it isn't. It's kind of like, damn.
Small kid. All right, next
right?
up.
And also, like, are you too young to realize like how like stabbing people is for real?
Fucking Fortnite, dude.
Yeah, it's not Fortnite. Yeah,
it's
not Call of Duty. Oh, just do the melee.
All right. Next up, Mystic.
Okay, so I don't know what even to call this. Complacency, I guess. So like I work as an editor at a news station. Like everyone there, I mean, when you say talented editor, that's really kind of an oxymoron because we're just monkeys at this place. Like just news, it's just an assembly line.
Well, but
there are a few people who have an incredible amount of talent. Like for one, this Dave guy that works there, he is the special projects editor. So this guy does all the fucking shit that like we put up for competitions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like even like when Emmy nominations go out or people submit stuff for Emmys.
Yeah.
Dave goes over no matter who edited the package, unless it was like Mickey or like one of the higher ups that have been there forever. Dave always goes over it just to fine tune everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was looking up his fucking like with this guy because I'm like, man,
he's real.
He probably doesn't make that good of money. But then I'm looking, and this dude has 42 Emmys.
Holy
damn!
Fuck.
Yeah,
what?
He has a Peabody Award. He has an Edward R. Murrow Award.
Wow. Yeah, that's like just the realm of news.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds impressive.
The Edward R. Murrow Award is the highest award you can get in
Good night and good luck.
television.
Really? God damn, this guy's like a
Peabody.
fucking...
The Peabody is radio. It's the fucking Pulitzer of radio, basically. So he won that at a national level too. The Emmys are at the regional level, which is the Chicago, which is the third biggest market in the United States.
Wow.
So he's going up against people who
working right in Chicago news and stuff.
Yeah, doing Chicago fucking shit. You know what I mean? And bigger, say Indianapolis is lumped in there too.
Well, we all know their Indy's fucking bullshit, but yeah.
But I'm just saying, this guy is an incredible fucking talent, and he's been there for years. We're talking 30 years since 20. What